G'day and welcome to Inforunners. I'm XQ, joined today by my partner in crime, Algared. How you doing, buddy?
Oh. Man, I will say that COVID knocks you for six.
Been there once took a while to get there, but it's not pleasant.
I've been saying to my students, I don't wish this on anyone. You know, we do a wash your hands before you come in. Use the hand sanitizer and all the rest of it. And I say, hey, wash your hands. You don't want to get this. This will knock you for six. So I've had it 3 times. And I say, I don't want you to get it again. Wash your hands.
Yeah, you are starting to sound more like yourself finally, which is great because the last couple of weeks you have not been yourself.
Oh man, I was at school yesterday and some of my colleagues were saying, go home. Yeah. you're dead. Go home. Yeah. This week I've been sleeping like 10 hours a day, and I'm still buggered.
All right.
But yeah.
So it's an unusual show for this one. We're also going to be doing starter pack giveaways. CIG at the end of last year, when we gave away the previous 8 starter packs, came back a couple of weeks later and gave us 8 to give away. Unfortunately, a little bit late to the party, so Algared and I have held on to those until now. So we're looking for new people that you guys know that you benefit from a starter pack. And if you wish to kind of help them, so we'll give the starter pack, and if any of you guys want to add to that and turn it to something else, more than welcome to team up with us. We haven't had anyone reach out in, actually, let me double check that. We do have a channel called giveaways on the Discord. Wait, no, ships for giveaways. Let's have a look. No one has come up forward and offered another one for giveaways. So we've only got the 8 starter packs. But if you want to change your mind, there is a ship for giveaways channel in the Discord. If you at me or Algared there, we can give that away today as well. So we're looking for people that are looking, are not that well off, or they're looking for someone else, like maybe their son or something like that, where that person themselves can't get themselves into the game, but you think that they're a person that would be a good candidate. So we want to try and give them away to people that they're going to make good use of them. Algared?
Do not ask for a starter pack for someone if you've already got a fleet.
Yeah.
Do not ask for ask for people who can't get a pack. Seriously, look for the people who would really struggle, or friends who would love to get the game, can't get the game.
Someone in a bad situation, someone
who would be lifted up and feel, and give them that positive boost.
Yeah, that's a good idea too. Give them a good day type of thing, because we are in that financial time, aren't we? Where not a lot of people are well off at the moment, or there are people that are struggling. So someone that needs a bit of a pick me up, or someone that couldn't do it themselves, type of thing. But if you can do it for them, then don't ask on their behalf, because you should buy them one. You should buy it for them. That's right. But yeah, other than that, that's kind of what we're looking forward. So what we would like you to do though is jump onto the Discord, and in the waiting room channel, hopefully one of our mods wake up. They're all asleep right now. But yeah, if you are looking to get one, jump in our waiting room on the Discord, and hopefully one of the mods rock up. I might have to shoe wrangle someone in to help us if one of the mods don't turn up. Get someone, hang on. I'm just going to ask someone here if you can help it. Yeah. All right. I'm messaging someone that I think might be able to help us out, Algared. And yeah, cool.
And on YouTube, Pugger Studios says, I've been trying to get into this game. What's the best way to get into this game? Any tips? Well, the first tip is get yourself a starter pack. After that, once you're there, get into the game and ask for help, and 90% of people in the game will actually help you. If you're someone who's been struggling and cannot afford a gamer pack or a starter pack, then go to the waiting room and state your case, and who knows, you may get one. So, but yeah.
Right, cool. So I'm trying to organize someone's available. Also, the bot's up and running. So again, your questions will come through. As always, when the questions run out, the stream runs out. That's basically how we do this. And then obviously, if ISC rocks up, we'll be looking at that as well. And then as people come in on the Discord, we will, try and spread those 8 out across that time as well. So how we go. Is there anything I've ever missed, Algared? I'm going away soon as well. I've got
running away.
We've got a bunch of pre-recorded episodes for you guys that are kind of for evergreen, so don't worry, you'll still have content while I'm away. Paul, there's something, so I'm going to bring this up, so I don't know how to kind of answer this, but Paul has offered to do this show while I'm away because he will be off on school holidays. So I don't know how it's going to look though. So it might not have the normal Inforunners cover.
It will. We'll make it.
We'll see. Because again, every one of these things that you see on any YouTuber or Twitch or whatever, they're all custom, and you can't just like copy and paste them over. That's not the way it works. They are very integrated into the computer that they're based on. So if it turns out that it's just like Paul's channel and it's Algared and Paul, and it might have a flash screen that says Inforunners, I'm sure you guys can rough it for a week. You guys are mature enough to, not a week, sorry, a month. I'm sure you guys will be cool with that. So yeah, Paul and out. So you'll still get your dose of Algared. Just you won't have me. Which I'm sure most of you will be fine with. And you'll have Paul instead of me. So yeah, I just want to let you know what's probably happening there while I'm away. We've got a bunch of shows for you though. I've done a couple with Space Tomato. I've done. We did a whole bunch of Fix My Fleets, didn't we, Algared? I've done one with Badges and Essays, so I've got a couple of command and controls in there as well. And the two command and controls are conjoined. So they are, one is like attacking a Polaris and the other is defending a Polaris. And what we do is we make a fleet. We make a fleet.
Quite good to look for too.
Yeah, so we make an attacking a Polaris fleet, and then we use our own fleet that we made to make a defense particularly for our own. So it's a little bit more unique than some of the episodes we've done in the past, but we're playing with a new idea there that SA and Badges wanted to look at, and if that works, we might do it again with another ship. So we might, pick a Perseus or a Hammerhead, or we even put that to the guys in the comments of the videos. So yeah, but yeah, so I think that kind of gives you a broad spread of what you can look forward to over the next month while I'm away. Yeah, so there's the one with Space Tomato. What I was thinking, Algared, because the one that I did with Space Tomato yesterday, it is not yesterday, the day before. It's actually really good right now. So whatever episode you and I record this weekend, I'll probably put that into the bank and put that one forward instead. So yeah, we might do a bit of a shift.
All right, I'm gonna stop you right there because we have Ravenfort on Twitch, who on YouTube has become has just picked up membership. So welcome, Ravenfort. And also on Twitch we have number one Prime as a first-time chatter. So welcome to the chat. So yeah, on both ends we've got you guys coming. So awesome, lovely to see you. We hope you enjoy the content. Don't forget, put your questions in the chat. Just put, you don't have to put question in brackets, as long as the word question is anywhere in your question. Our bot will drag it out and chuck it into the bank.
I think I'll do a shameless plug here, Algared. Yeah, don't forget to wrong one. Click the wrong one. Like, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Our statistics or analytics on YouTube tell us that only half of you guys are subscribed to us. So, yeah, we'd really appreciate it if you give us a subscribe if you're a long-time viewer, and liking the video always helps us on every video. There is something really weird about our channel. And even Space Tomato and Paul and all the others look at it. It is a really low subscriber count, but a really high viewer count. So there's something out of whack there, and that none of them can explain it. Like, they're like, this is so different from any of our channels. So I don't know, maybe we're doing something right, but like we've just got our audience and it doesn't grow.
We're doing something right, but we're doing something wrong.
Yeah, we can't figure out what we're doing wrong.
Can't figure out what we're doing wrong.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's our problem, not yours. But yeah, we'd appreciate the help from you guys if you would be willing to help us out. We appreciate that. That's all.
And the best way to help us out is to hit that like, subscribe, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit the bell. They're probably the biggest ways to help us out.
Yeah.
If you want to go the extra mile and go super chat or membership or in YouTube and whatever you do on Twitch, because I have no idea, then that's awesome. Or if you want to go Patreon, that's fantastic. But the best way you can help us is like, subscribe, and hit the bell.
That's it.
Anything else is gravy for us, and ultimately does help us either improve equipment or stuff like that. But yeah, and Don Dawson, welcome to membership on YouTube. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Never expected, but always appreciated.
No, that's right. Never expected, never demanded or required, but always appreciated, and I think that's the most members we've had in one day.
Yeah, we don't get a lot, but that's fine. We don't have anyone that wants to talk to us yet on the Discord. If you've got someone you think that would be after a starter pack, jump into our Discord in the waiting room, and please make sure your mic is decent if you can, because we don't have mods to check it out. I have reached out to our mods, but they all seem to be busy. But we'll see what happens.
Glad you love watching our content, Dom, and glad that you also were a long-term lurker. Got to go back and scroll the name.
The other
Ravenfort.
Yeah, Ravenfort. I swear Ravenfort's been a member before. I think he's just renewed.
Well, they said long-time lurker, so you know.
I don't know. I know that name from somewhere. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy because I don't know. It seems familiar.
They've probably, if they're lurkers, they've probably mentioned, made a comment on one of the chats or something like that at some time, with the video. But, and great to see you. Always love watching our content. Fantastic.
Alrighty, well, let's have a look and see if we've got any stream questions. We've only got one question. God, this could be a very short stream today.
All right, we're done.
Yep. Great White Shadow says you need to get rid of one ship, not ground vehicle, from the game, which is, well, I know which one Algared's going to say. 100. Oh, I thought you were going to say the steel.
Oh, wow.
I thought you were going to say the steel.
We should have said.
But I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest. So how do we rate this? Do we rate this on price or just like pure hatred? And I'm with you. I could remove the 100i before the steel. If the steel was repriced, I'd go the 100i. I think.
Yep. Yeah. On price, definitely the steel. The steel is a piece of shit. Like, I'm sorry to anyone who likes Drake. The steel is the most disgusting piece of rubbish that CIG have put out.
Yeah.
And I know that's probably harsh, CIG, and I'm sorry to the person who designed and was told to upgun an already upgunned vehicle, and rip out its cargo and living quarters and turn it into a fully.
What is it? $140? That's what I would have put it at.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it's disgusting. It's a disgusting piece of rubbish, and it's a nice shiny, but no, I don't want it, and I want everything, and I don't want that piece of shit. And the 100i, beautiful little ship. Yep. Cannot deny it is a beautiful little ship.
Algared, I got to ask you.
It wasn't needed.
I got to ask you a favor. Can you go below and see if that guy's mic's working? Because if I go, I've got to reset everything. But if you go, you can go check real quick. And I'll sit here and babble while you find out if he's working or not.
This is how you shut me up, isn't it?
No, it's just that I have to read. You know what I've got to do if I go down the channel. I got to turn everything back on. I would go myself, but we don't have a mod here at the moment. Oh wait, no, we don't. That's the bot.
I'll go.
So yeah, if you go, thank you, appreciate it.
I'll be back shortly, guys.
All right. He'll still be on camera though, so you'll probably see his mouth moving and stuff like that. All right, next question. What time does ISC start? It is random, Xerix, which is half the problem with what we do here. So sometimes it comes out before we even get here. Other times it comes out in the last hour before we start. So we'll see. But yeah. All right, hopefully Algared is, no, he's now having a conversation with whoever is down in that room. This is typical Algared. I don't know if you're watching, but yeah, yep. Algared, if you can hear me, hurry up. Nope, he's enjoying himself. And I'm awkwardly standing here. All right, we'll do the next question. All right. Tactical Weird says, how far do you think we are from medical rework? Will we see it when we get the Apollo? I want to make a medical my profession, but I don't want to be stuck sitting around waiting for spam. I think that it's not really a rework. I think it's just not here yet. I think like we made a video recently, right, talking about the end of Squadron 2's development coming along, right? I think that really is really obvious. Like, if you think about how small of a company this is, right, and most of what their builders working on Squadron 42 this whole time, right, we've heard things in the background that people have even come back to CIG to help out with the polish and release of this game, right? That's how it's all hands on deck, right? So when you kind of run that through, if they're all trying to get Squadron 42 out the door, what are they doing on the other side of it? Well, the other side of it is then they're going to start working on actual Star Citizen. So everyone can talk about the floodgates will open. And I've heard people mock us for saying that, right? But that is an actual fact. They can't work on one thing when everyone else is trying to push one thing out the door. That obviously means there's not enough people to work on the other thing. But once it's out, it'll re-divide and go back into the two groups. And not only that, we know all the new buildings and all that, so they can essentially double the size of the company. And all those new people and that for the new company are basically going to be working on Star Citizen. So, you know, this time next year, I think even more people will start to work on Star Citizen. But like, wait to the release. And if things are be to believed by CitizenCon next year, you know, things are going to start to change after that pretty rapidly. So that's what I'd really expect. Like, think about it already. Like, as designers and people are moving over, we've got more gameplay last year. It literally doubled the amount of gameplay we had last year. Yeah. Right. So with all the new things that went in.
And you look at 320, we'll get more gameplay because we'll have Arena Commander plus other stuff. So
you have fun down there? I saw you talking and your mouth moving. I'm like, what's taking him so long? Having a big chinwag, were we down there?
Well, we had Ashra turn up and he said, "Hey, look, I'll play the role of checking."
Oh, that was nice of him. Thank you, Ashra. Appreciate it.
So I've given him temporary mod rights at the moment. So
awesome.
So
that's perfect.
He'll take care of that for us. And
thank you, Ash. Appreciate
it. With our first person.
Yep. You've got to set their role, Algared.
He's working.
Yep, that's right. You've got to use that Merlin role that we set up. So I'm going to drag you out again and then back again. There we go. Now you should be able to talk. How are you doing? Too much time.
Awesome.
All right, there he is. How you doing? All right, so we got a starter pack here. Tell us your story. Wait, who do you want it for?
I want it for myself. I've been watching you guys for a couple of months now, on and off. You and Tomato and a few other people that are broadcasting, and it looks like an awesome game. I've fallen on hard times the last little bit. We're getting forced to move, and separated from my wife, so it's
through the ringer by the sounds of it. So you don't have to if you don't want to, but you want to tell us about like how hard is it for you to move? Because it costs money to move house. So I'm kind of curious, like, how's the move thing going? And is it you're moving because you can't afford the rent? Like just give me a little bit of background, what you feel comfortable with.
Yeah. My mother-in-law, she's not doing so hot, and she's about 1,500 miles away. And my mom lives down here in Texas. We're moving up to Wisconsin. So yeah, I think it's about 1,200 miles. It's about 14-hour drive. So we're not taking a lot with us. But somebody's got to take care of her. She's getting older, and she's not able to see and drive and make doctor's appointments. And just be nice to, give somebody the quality of life.
Yep. And you're going to be able to have the net where you are in Wisconsin. I don't know how outback it is, right? I live in the arse end of nowhere, so I have pretty bad net myself. But you reckon you'll be fine there with the net?
Yeah, we're moving back to Janesville, and it's it's not the capital, but I mean, it's a big city.
Makes it sound like you came from there. You said move back. Is that where you're originally from? Gone back to the hometown?
Originally I'm from Washington State.
All right.
Well, the only reason we know Wisconsin is from that 70s show.
Yeah. That's it.
He was on the plane with my wife, the guy that played Eric. My wife just flew back from there with my mother-in-law, and my family flew with him. So it's been awesome.
All right, well, I've got no problem chucking one your way. I don't think Algared would either. I'll let him speak for himself, though.
No.
And hopefully that gets you some entertainment, man, and gets you into the verse and get you into your journey. I've got no problem with that. So you reach out to Algared via PM, because he's got these ones on his account, and he'll get one gifted off to you. You'll just need your email, and make sure you log. Have you got an account? Have you made an RSI account yet?
No, I have not made an account.
I'll give him.
I'll have a perfect address for you.
Yeah, if you look below, it's got my referral code in the description. Use that one. I've only got 14 referrals.
I use my one, but hey,
you've got every ship in the game. You don't need a javelin. I need a javelin. I've only got 14 referrals in 10 years. Algared's got more referrals than I do. So yeah,
I can't believe
half of them are mine.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd appreciate if you use my referral code. You don't have to. You can use any ones you want. I'm not going to hold you to that.
I don't know anybody.
But if you want to, you get basically they give you $5,000 out for you.
Vote Algared. I'm not sure what you're asking, Midgard.
So it'll give you 5,000 Alpha UEC in game if you sign up with anyone's referral code. That's the main benefit to you. To everyone else, they get 1 point towards their referral program. So yeah. It's not something we've really pushed here, but a lot of the others have told me that I should start putting it up on screen, but I don't know. It was a bit tacky. Do you know, I saw a video during the week from a smaller content creator, Algared, where he was complaining that people shouldn't buy the game, yet he's had his referral code on screen.
Yeah.
How does that
Don't
work?
buy the game.
But yeah, but use my referral code? Anyway.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you shouldn't buy this game because it's hopeless. But I want this referral. Yeah, to me that's nuts. That's yeah. Okay.
Yeah, people are saying I should put up my referral code. Maybe I'll do that in a minute. So we'll see. I'd have to go grab it though. Yeah, I can do that. All right. So you're right to contact Algared then. Too much time. And he'll get you set up either during or after the show. Depends on how much we can multitask at the same time, which is what me and Algared are.
I'm usually pretty bad at multitasking.
Yep.
I tell my students that all the time.
Yeah.
It's no rush. I've been waiting months for this, and it's awesome. I can't believe you guys are real.
Yeah.
So
no, that's good.
Thank you.
No, we are paid actors, mate. Didn't you know that? That's all Australians are paid actors. That is the running joke. We are just Americans that are paid actors. Apparently.
In fairness, these ones are from CIG. So when we mentioned to CIG, hey, this is what we planned when we were looking at doing this last year. Our original idea was, hey, we're going to buy these. Will you match us? And CIG came back and said, yeah, we'll help out. But then the way in which CIG's allocation of things go, they usually need a larger window to do stuff. And their intent was, they said, how many packs are you looking at? And we said, 8 to 10. I said, righto. And we were thinking, all right, they'll meet us, we'll get 4, they'll get 4 type thing. And they went back. Their intent was, we'll give you all the packs that you're giving away. And they did, but they ended up giving us them.
I think it was about 2 weeks after. So we've been holding them on for almost 6 months. I'm going to ask for you, because I know you're not going to ask for yourself, but does anyone in the community feel like upgrading him to an Avenger? Is there any kind stranger out there that wants to upgrade? What is a cutter? So a cutter's what, 45? So it costs you $20. Is anyone out there that's willing to upgrade him to an Avenger? If not, I think me or Algared might do it for you, but we'll see. Is anyone out there that wants to wants to help him out, take him under their wing, show him the game, upgraded him to an Avenger, give him a bit of a guide, might make a friend? Anyone out there? All right, reach out. We'll see. If not, me or Algared might see if we can upgrade you up to an Avenger. So you, instead of starting with a cutter, you will start with an Avenger.
Oh, look, I've got to say, the cutter is an awesome starter ship, though.
It is.
It is.
But I've got a soft pot for helping people, and Algared knows I've got a problem. He's always telling me, stop spending money. Stop spending on the money.
The Avenger is an awesome advanced starter ship. And I think these days I put it into that advanced starter category. But in terms of the regular starters, the cutter is great because it gives you that ability to walk around the ship, which gives you that Star Citizen feel. It's got an internal cargo bay, so you can actually put stuff down. It gives you the ability to do everything. It's the most heavily armored starter ship of all, which makes it the most undrake ship ever.
Okay, so we've got Algared, we've got 2 people below. So Tucker Box just donated $20. We also had Vagabond Prime said he'll upgrade him. So you hold on to the yours Vagabond. We'll take that $20 and do it for him. But if someone else pops up today that you think's good, Vagabond, jump in on it. So thank you, Tuckerbone, for the $20. We'll get that through for you, and we'll get you an upgrade. Thank you to Tuckbone. There too much time, so you've got an Avenger to start with.
You will no longer have the nice little cutter. You will have an Avenger.
Well, what we'll do is I'll have to buy him the CCU. So what we'll do is I'll send you a CCU, right? But what Algared's essentially saying is try out the cutter for a bit before you apply the Avenger. Yeah. So and you might even, and once you're in game, you might even find someone that lends you the Avenger, and you can try it out for yourself. But they are very similar. So yeah, it's up to you. One's a bit. Algared, would you kind of say the Avenger's probably like a cutter, but a bit more combat-like?
Oh, I think the Avenger trumps the cutter all across. Probably the only area it may be weaker on it and is armor. Well,
the
cutter has more weapons. The cutter has more cargo space. The cutter has. It is a bigger ship. It's a more versatile ship, but the cutter is just a gorgeous little ship. I've been flying it this week at one Jossatoon, my Zero to Hero character. My Zero to Hero character used to have an Aurora. I ditched the Aurora for the cutter when the cutter came out because the cutter was just so much better in terms of being able to show Star Citizen off in terms of walking around the ship and all the rest of it.
All right. So 2 things. Thank you for the raid, Daily Noob, and hi, chatters from Daily Noob's chat. Nice to see you guys again. I hang out with Daily Noob every once in a while, or more than I should probably. It's probably sick of me by now. And secondly, I do have to ask: do you want the Avenger? We don't want to kind of. I've just realised we're kind of forcing it on you, but is that something that you've looked at yourself?
That's what everybody recommends, and they call it the Penguin, from what I understand.
That's correct.
I've been watching. Everybody recommends it. It looks sleek. I mean, I'm just blessed to get into the game, but yes, that would be a huge upgrade. From what I understand.
Well, once we give you the CCU, if you don't want the CCU, you can always melt it, and you can turn it back into credit and use it on a skin for the cutter instead, or use it to turn it into another ship yourself. So whatever you do with it, up to you. But yeah, we'd probably recommend the Avenger as the starter to go to. And if you over time, if you want to put it, that's the thing. Like once you get into the game, it's a lot easier just to put $10 in, or a little bit here and there. You can probably work yourself up to a bigger ship slowly as well. So yeah. Once you're in, though, you'll get your feet wet, so to speak. So, yeah. All right. Well, we're going to drop you off there. Too much time. I'll drop you back into the waiting room. And, yeah, thanks, man. Is there anything you want to say before you leave, I guess? I'll leave it open.
I just want to say thank you for everybody, and it seems like a great community.
It is. Enjoy yourself, man. It sounds like a cliche, but it really is true. It is a really great community. So, yeah, enjoy yourself, man, and hope to see you in game. Me and Algared might go for a fly with you one time. All right. Take care, bro.
Okay. We also have on YouTube, Vagabond has tossed in that $20. So, well done, Vagabond. And Negativity has also given us $10. Vagabond said, upgrade the next one. You guys are awesome. And Negativity's given us $10. He says, the Carter is better for people more interested in FPS missions. The large weapons rack allows you to ensure railguns, etc. And the cutter has.
He's got a good point. We could upgrade someone to a STAR. Again, if you see someone come along and the things they're saying about the game, the things they want to do, suggest an upgrade. Don't let Algared and I dictate. You're the one spending the money, so to speak. So if you want to say upgrade this man to this. And you could even get, maybe that's what we do. We have a couple of offers, and the person can pick what they want to turn their ship into. So we'll go wherever you guys want to go. So we'll see.
But if you are into FPS missions, the cutter is a great ship. The weapons rack on that cutter can take 4 pistols, 2 rifles. It is, that's just insane for a small ship like that. The Aurora doesn't have that. The Mustang doesn't have it. The Aurora has a bed, this has a bed and a toilet and internal cargo space. It lacks, I think, missiles, but it's got 2 size 2 weapons as opposed to 4 size 1s on the Aurora. It's just, yeah, in terms of starter ships, this is by far the best starter ship, in my opinion now. Hence why Jossatoon now flies a cutter. I thought of flying Drake. It's scary and horrible.
All right. Do we want to give another one straight away? We've got another person here, so we can give one away straight away. All right. So we've got Jester Crow. How you doing, buddy?
How you doing?
You sound like I feel great. Like not awake. How are you doing?
I just had a 12-hour shift as a bus driver, but I'm knackered.
As a bus driver, putting up with all the kids.
Yeah.
Oh, so
with kids, grumpy old farts.
So the Genesis Starliner is not your ship of choice. Is that what you're telling me?
Not at all.
All right. Yeah. So okay. So tell us a little about your story, man. Why would you want to start it back?
I want to start it back. I want to gift it to my best mate. My best friend and my best mate. He's a long-time EVE Online player, and
he needs to see
Yeah, he just doesn't want to audition. You know, he doesn't believe in the project, and I want to get him in somehow.
Yep.
I myself didn't go too deep. I have a Coney Aquila with an LTI. I'm happy as a dog with a bone. But he just, you know, when he sees an alpha sting and this and that, he doesn't want to audition or anything. And so I think it would be a nice gift for him. He has a birthday soon enough, so.
So let me play devil's advocate, because I can see a few people thinking this. What if he doesn't want it? What if you even give it to him and he doesn't want it? What happens then? Are you sure? What I'm asking is, in short, are you positive he's going to want it?
Yeah, because I know for a fact he loves sci-fi games. He loves like Dune from Dune 2000, like EVE Online. He loves all the Fallouts and whatnot. He's into sci-fi, into fantasy. He would love to play the game. It's just the project is not finished, and that thing kind of buggers him out. So I think this will be a good push for him to get into the game, and then from that he can expand.
I don't know about you, Algared, but this is my idea. We give it to him, but we have to make sure he accepts it. So you can have it, but if he doesn't want it, like as in he doesn't claim it when we send him the email, we'll give it to someone else. So when you send your email through, you've got to make sure he's got his account, and then you've got to make sure that he accepts it on his email. So I've got no problem giving it to you, but what I'm saying is if he doesn't take it, give it back to us so we can give it to someone else that will use it. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah. Thing is, he doesn't currently have an account.
Yep.
So I have to call him.
Yeah. What you need to get him to do, Jester, is make an account.
Yep.
Okay. You need to get him to. But once he's got his account, you need to get that account.
Yep.
Details and email to me.
Yep.
I will gift it to him, and if it's not accepted, then I will just cancel the gift.
Yep.
So if we gift it to you, the ability to gift it is gone.
Yeah. So long story short, just make sure, because you understand why we're asking that, right? Because that way you get it.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah,
I
have my account. I'm 4
cool.
year in, and I have everything sorted for myself.
All right, man. Well, I hope your works out for you and your mate, and he can join you.
Okay,
and
thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem, man. And good luck with all the kids and the old folks on the bus, man. What city are you in?
I need that.
If you don't mind.
I work. I'm actually from Croatia, but I live and work in Ireland. I live and work in Ireland for past 7 years now. So we are in Dublin.
Is it a tour bus, or is it just a regular bus? What type of bus is it?
No, it's a coach bus. It's a commuter bus from into Dublin.
Yeah. So how long's your route? Is essentially what I'm asking you. How long?
It's about a 2-hour trip.
So you're going back and forth a fair bit. And would you say 12 hours? So what, 6 trips or less?
No. Thing is, I do the split shift, so-called split shift. I do about 4 hours in the morning, then I have about 3 to 5 hour break, then another 2 to 3 to 5 hour in the afternoon. So I start around 6 to 7 in the morning, finish 6, 7 in the evening.
The reason I asked that is are you looking forward to anything like that in game? Do you want to do cargo runs or anything like that, or is it you going completely the other way?
No, I just take guns and I go into bunkers, clearing bunkers, start killing people.
De-stress.
De-stress.
When you first started talking, Jester, I could hear the more European accent.
Yeah.
But every so often, I can hear the Irish.
You don't hear it often, yeah.
I can hear the Irish coming through.
You know, when you're stuck with the language.
Jibbity potatoes. That's how it goes, doesn't it? Jibbity potato. There's a comedian that came from here.
And
fish and chips.
Just lots of little words that you said that. Okay, yep, that's Irish. Yep, that's Irish. Yep, that's Irish. I could just hear that the Irish tilt in the voice.
All right, Jester. Well,
from having that background.
Yeah, just so you go go get an account set up and have a talk to your friend.
I will do.
Algared will talk to your friend directly though as well. So we'll verify that he's a real person, stuff like that. We just do due diligence because we don't want to. And we had we only discovered this last time we did this, and we were like, yeah, we need to talk to people, make sure these people are real, that we're not. And by the way, the 8 that we gave away, no scammers. We were really happy. After we talked to people, we found out everyone was real. So we don't want to. It just shows how mature this community is, but we're going to do our due diligence on our own as well. So yeah, so we'll leave it with you.
Yeah, and when we were doing this, we understood, yes, someone might try and scam us, someone might try and get a starter pack, but at the end of the day, we thought, well, it's a starter pack.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
But
all right, just
make sure your friend makes his account.
Will do.
Even uses you as a referrer if you like.
Yeah, hey, or me if you want. Up to you.
No, I'll give him executes. I'll give him executes because he likes them so much. He wants them so much.
If you really want to give us the ability to check, having him make his account as, as using either X or I as a referral, then what that enables us to do is he says, hey, I was this person. We go, yep. So that enables us to do that check as well. But make his account. I need to have his account name and his email, and then I can actually set up that gift. And if it's not accepted, I will just cancel the gifting. I can't gift it to you for you to gift him because it's from CIG. It
can only be gifted once. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
It only has a $0 value, so you can't melt it and then unmelt it.
All right, Jester, is there anything you want to say before you go, man?
No, I love you guys. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Good luck on the runs on the bus, mate. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Be good. Thanks.
All right, so yeah, if you are looking for a starter pack for yourself, that's 2 down. We've got 6 to go. We will get another one shortly, I guess. Where are we up to? Oh god, there's a whole heap of questions. I've just looked up at my screen. It's like, right, so we've got a bunch of questions. I'm sure one of you guys will let us know when ISC is out, which I will check myself now, but I'm pretty sure it isn't. Algared, do you want to take another question, buddy?
So the first question was, which ship would we get rid of?
Yep.
We did start to kind of go through the whole thing with the 100i, but I don't think we actually finished that. But part of the reasoning was why I think the 100i is a ship to get rid of is just because it wasn't really needed to fill in the niche of starter ship for that.
Yeah, you could have just gone with the 300,
You could have gone with the 300. If you wanted a smaller ship, you had the, in Origin, you had the MX, you had the 85X and the M50, which could have been renamed or classed into that category. So it felt like it wasn't needed. But is it a gorgeous little ship? So I'd have dropped that out just because of it, because there were so many Origin ships down at that level already. But it is a gorgeous ship. The next question is, what time does ISC start? When it starts?
Yeah, I've already talked about that. You can tell I've marked those one out. We're down to I Prime is the next person.
Yep. First Prime says, counter question. If only one ship could never leave the game as of right now, which one would it be?
Ooh.
So if you had to keep one ship, which one would it be?
Oh, it'd be my favorite, the Reclaimer. Yeah. Yeah, just make it my favorite ship. Yeah.
The Endeavour, Crucible.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah. On a side note, hang on. Why Grim's here? Algared got his poster yesterday, finally. How the hell does that work? Algared's in Sydney. He should have got it way before I did. He got it literally like 2 weeks after I got mine, Grim. So yeah, actually, I should get it real quick. Hold on, and we'll show people what.
It's the reverse of It's the reverse of what Execute's got with the Witcher game. So we both ordered the Kickstarter game, The Witcher Old World. I've received mine. It is the figures in that game absolutely blows me away. And X is still waiting for his Witcher the Old World. Grim made a Fleet Viewer poster of the ships in Star Citizen, and you can see it there. It's got the Retribution in the middle and the Javelin and all the other ships.
Yeah, almost everything. Yeah.
It is a gorgeous glossy print. Oh, it's missing the newest ships. Probably. I haven't had a chance to fully look at it because I don't want to wreck the poster. But you complained that your tube was taped at one end.
Yeah, it didn't have a cap on one of my ends, but then yours had both caps. So yeah,
Mine had both caps.
Yeah.
So you know.
Grim, if you want,
because, you know,
Grim, if you want, drop in chat where people can grab this from.
Yeah, join us in chat and you can tell it. And
I was just going to say, drop in. You can just drop a link in.
Oh, you can do that too.
Yeah. In there, and people can have a click. And if not, if it gets censored or whatever, just PM it to me, Grim, and I'll put it up for you. All right. Yeah. So if you want to get a copy of that, Grim is selling those off. I think, but he's doing it. He's doing them as giveaways. I think actually, I don't think he can sell them directly because it's because of CIG. So I think you can only get them from giveaways. I could be wrong. I don't think he is selling them. So you're about to be really disappointed if that's the case. Yeah. The giveaways, there you go, because CIG doesn't let him sell them. Yeah, so tough luck, you can't get them. But yeah, if you want to get one, you'll have to join his stream and hopefully win one. So yeah, he's doing them as giveaways. Maybe we should do some posters, Algared, for giveaways. That's not a bad idea. We'll have to look into it. I just dropped something on the floor. Don't know what I did, but anyway.
Yep. Okay, next question. We actually didn't answer the question. Which ship?
Oh, I said Reclaimer.
You said Reclaimer. I said Endeavour, Crucible. Yep.
That's
okay.
It.
Yeah, I think it also depends on. I think every person would have a different ship.
It'd just be everyone's favourite ship, shortly, would it?
Well,
not?
I think it. Yes, but I think it comes down even more than that. It comes down to what gameplay people want to do, because every ship is generally geared for a different type of gameplay. Like some can do a plethora of things, but others are then like the Reclaimer is really dialed in for salvage. The Crucible's really dialed in for repair. The Endeavour's kind of dialed in for everything, but it's massive. You know, so do you want a generalist ship? Do you want a... So yeah, it's a bit more of a, I think, a nutty question that's more personal than must have. And I suppose the other one's like that as well. It's just, yeah. John Ski has a question. Hello, John. Lovely to see you.
Yep.
He says, I'm unsubbing because I want to be like everyone else. Don't you dare. You evil person, you troublemaker. But I'll still watch. Question. Isn't the Prowler still buggy as hell? I don't know. I haven't been in the Prowler for ages.
I have been in the Prowler during the week because CIG gave us some to fly during Alien Week. Some of the guns don't fire. That's the only real bug with it at the moment that I have. It's a little bit buggy, but every ship as it gets older, so to speak, gets a little bit buggy. But yeah, they'll come back around.
I do like the look of the Prowler. But my problem is I like most of the ships. But if I look at the ships I've been flying most lately, believe it or not, it's things like the Cutter. And I hate Drake, and I love the Cutter.
Yeah.
You know, so.
But you said the same thing about the Caterpillar too. There's just something about how they fly. There's something realistic about them. I kind of look at it. If we went out right now and we built spaceships, that's the closest we'd get to. It's not going to be the other end of the coin. Like if I would like to see a bit of a, like I'd love a mission in game somewhere where they find, like maybe it's even in the Sol system or just one or two systems over, and they find like a lost spacecraft, you know, and it's like 500 years older than someone that you rescued that's in a life pod or something like that, and they're
I want to find
like the Star Trek episodes, you know that episode,
Voyager.
Yeah.
I want to find Voyager. Yeah. Probably will never find it because it's
not Voyager, but like there was an episode in Star Trek where they found people from like back in our time, like they'd been lost for 400 years in these cryopods. So yeah, it'll be interesting. Oh well, we'll see what happens. Just a cool little Easter egg.
Star Trek also had the finding Voyager. Voyager becomes
true,
sentient and was going to destroy Earth. But yes, will Execute be locking the zippers on his boogie board bag?
I'm not taking a boogie board bag, but okay.
There you go. Will you be locking your bag? So
yeah, that's a reference to someone here in Australia tried smuggling drugs in a boogie bag.
Yep.
And they ended up in prison for 20 years. Anyway, but no, I'm not going to be doing that, obviously. Right. Okay.
Awesome. If you could put a game loop, in a game loop, what would it be?
I don't know. I've never really thought of that. Because I'm more, you know, the things we've kind of always talked about is they're going to get around to everything eventually, you know.
Yeah, that's right. Everything's going to be in there. Like,
yeah.
you look at the things that, you know, we've got tanks. I suppose the only thing we don't have in ground combat yet is artillery.
Mm-hmm. And we know that's coming now because of the stuff they said with the storm. Yeah.
But we're pretty certain it's coming because the storm is made to take out artillery now.
I think the only thing we've speculated about Algared that hasn't really come to pass is shields. You know, like a, you know, we are spinning up the shield, you know, from the Naboo. But that's something that we've theorized for quite a while. And with things like physicalized bombs like the A2 that can drop through the shields, we're definitely thinking that's something that's coming down the line.
I got the impression when they were talking about the Pioneer early on that one of the things they did talk about was, you know, you could have base shields and stuff. But that could just be me of having heard and hearing what I expected to hear rather than actually what they said. Well, hey, we all do that, but yeah.
So what I'm expecting is, you know how they've talked about shield emitters on ships, right? And we also know that they've got this tech that basically can surround a ship for when it does entry into planets and stuff. So basically you just take that and apply it to buildings. So you basically have shield emitters on individual buildings or buildings that you want to be within the shield. And then basically it just creates a shield across all of them. Using the same, I've forgotten the name of the tech, but you know the one that surround. I'm sure someone in the chat will tell us what it is because I've forgotten. But the name of it, like it's got a name, and it basically works out what the ship is and draws a shield around it. It's the same tech. They can just put that on buildings. So again, we know they multiply the tech and use it on multiple things.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised to find we get a similar type of tech for for space stations as well. So.
And they might even make it so, like avionics on ships, there's probably a module in a building that dictates, you know, so you've got to have a power module or well, I guess they're called components in games. So there's probably components for buildings as well. And so you put in a shield emitter, you put in a power thing, you know, life support, all that. So it's probably going to have components for buildings as well. I'm not even kidding. You just take the same spaceship mentality and vehicle mentality and copy it into the buildings. Done.
Yeah.
Thing makes itself, because everything that they've already made in the modules just copies over. It's less work, and it's just as complicated. So it's a win-win. So yeah.
Well, we know that like even when they were talking bases and space stations.
Yep.
I can't remember who it was, but I was talking with Disco, and I was saying, yeah, but we've got the space station. What we do on the planets is basically a space station on the ground. It's just it's just the same type of construction. It's just.
Well, isn't a space station really just a spaceship, like a Banu merchantman or something like that? But instead of it having quantum drives and stuff like that, it's just got thrusters so it can keep itself in orbit, so to speak.
Yeah, probably.
So it's just a thruster, a ship with thrusters, but nothing else. And the thrusters are just less of them because it doesn't need to move at speed. So yeah.
What did we say the Privateer and the Kraken was?
Exactly.
It's a floating space station, you know, or a mobile space station. So. Tuckbone has a question for us, or Tuckbone has a question for us.
Yep.
Connie, Corsair, and competitors tier list. Now, I think we probably need more context. Are you asking us?
So that's daily drivers. It's basically daily drivers. What he's listed there.
Are you wanting us to give you a tier list show of the best daily drivers out of those, or do you want us to just say which one we think?
So the last one we did was a daily driver. I think it was me, Space, and. I think it was. We did our favorite ships for 318. So it's not too long ago. That was at the end of last year. So it's been about 6 months. So yeah, we could probably do another one for
maybe at 320 we could do another one. Of those three ships, my Connie, because they're 400i, my favorite is probably still the Connie.
Check the MSR in there as well. I think Caterpillar's a daily driver as well, but it's getting a little bit big now. It's starting to get, you know, it and the Galaxy are basically the same thing. So it really comes down to what you want to do in game. You know, for example, if they end up putting a chop shop on that, you might be into salvage. So that's the salvage ship you might move towards. So
Clifford Walgamet in YouTube is clearly wanting to
destruction
yank your leg.
Nothing but destruction.
He says the A2 is the best daily driver. Clearly, you know, wanting to get your eye going.
I think he wants to. I think he's trying to take a hit at morphologists personally, but he'll get his own comments. Don't worry, Mr. Clifford will. All right.
Kenobi trip.
Next question. Yeah.
About data running, do you think CIG will do the classic thing of release? With data running, what do you mean by do you think they'll do the classic thing of release? I think I need a bit more context for that, unless you can work out what he's meaning, X.
I will go back and read the question. I was doing stuff in the background. Sorry. Whose question? Shinobi Trip. About data running, do you think CIG will do the classic thing of releasing new ships? Yes. So,
all right. So I hadn't read the second part, the second question, but yes, I read the second question there that got a bit more detail. Yes, I think they will.
Yeah. So yeah, essentially makes a lot of sense. The original planned ship for, no, I'm thinking of hacking, not data running. Hacking was the Legionnaire. So we do know hacking is coming. There's lots of things pointing towards it. I think a lot of, like I was saying earlier when Algared was down in the other room, there's a lot of things pointing towards them heavily working on Squadron 42. I even told them, Algared, we've heard reports of people coming back to CIG to help out. So when you add all that together, I think you're going to find the reason why a lot of things have been pushed out on the roadmap is there's just nobody to work on them. And that was the one part I never got to before when Algared came back in and we quickly shifted gears. Yeah. And
as we said when we did the, the end of a line, the end is nigh episode.
Yep.
Recently,
I said that to them as well, but
everything on the Squadron 42 monthly report just seems to scream they are finishing off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not a developer. I'm not. I don't have that background of working development like Execute's had. And to me, it's screaming they are finishing off. They are finishing off. They are finishing off. They are finishing off. And when I pointed out to X, and he started reading it, and he's going, "This is finishing off language. This is finishing off language." And Paul,
they're not using.
They're
not using. Sorry, they're not using the regular terms, but you can definitely. It's because some of the people writing them are obviously lay people. They're not like developer terms that I'm used to, and again, it's different countries, so it could be different things as well. But Algared is 100% correct that words like polishing, finalization, things like that. These are words as you come to the end of something. So yeah.
And even Paul, Paul reads the monthly. Paul goes through the monthly reports and he reads them in detail and then gives his thoughts. And he's been sitting there for the last couple of months going, "This sounds like finishing. This sounds like finishing." Am I on too much hopium? And I don't think we are. I really think within the next 12 months we'll probably see Squadron being at least being announced as a finishing date. We'll actually see them saying, "Yes, we've finished doing all the base stuff. Now we're just doing the absolute final polish."
Yeah,
that's how close I think we are.
Yeah, you just got to remember there's only a certain number of staff that can go around. So if they are really trying to get this out the door, and by the way, everyone that's complaining, "Oh, I'm really sick of Squadron, I want them to work on Star Citizen," that's how you get what you want. Let them put everyone on it really quickly and get it out the door so we can get to the Star Citizen. That's what, and honestly, if you are really into Squadron and Star Citizen, and you don't give any two hoots about Squadron, then you got to realize Squadron is very good for Star Citizen. This is going to come out and hopefully silence a lot of those haters that have been giving us grief for years. Still to this day, like there was a video only a couple of, not even a couple of weeks ago. The guy had like 3.5 subscribers, and I think it's up to almost 500,000 views. That guy's made an absolute killing in revenue off that one video. And he didn't know what he was talking about. Like, I watched it. It goes for like 40 minutes, and there's just so many things that he misses and doesn't get right. But it doesn't matter. It's clickbait, and people will watch it. And, there's no repercussions to that.
I was looking at some of the comments on Sten's fleet, and people are saying this guy has nothing to work for.
Yeah.
You need to understand different players have different goals and different things of what they want to do in game. I've got every ship.
Yeah, you want friends, Algared. That's your work.
But I've got things that I actually want to do in game. I don't want to do the grinding for ships.
Sorry.
That's not the game. That's just an aspect of the game. But I'm really looking forward to Squadron.
But you're really working forward to getting crew members to work on your ship. You want underlings, Overlord. You've got evil Old Man Hurston vibes of, you promised everyone an Uwu girl and then under-deliver. That's how it's... No, isn't that
I never offer Uwu girls. But for me, people say, why have I supported a game? I've supported a game because I want Squadron. I know what Chris Roberts does with those types of games. And I was all in the second I knew it was a Chris Roberts game, and I knew what he does. And that was even before we had Mark Hamill on board and John Rhys Davies and Gary Oldman and Gillian Anderson. And,
real quick.
the list goes on and on.
So Boz Diplo is asking on Twitch. We probably should repeat this a couple of times. So if you want to get yourself a starter pack or someone you know a starter pack, Boz, we're giving them away to people that are not that well off, that kind of can't help themselves. We want to go to people that are a bit less fortunate, try and draw them into the game. So if you would like to jump on our Discord, we have a channel called The Waiting Room. Ashra is in there for us. He's been kind enough to screen people for us. And when we're ready, we'll drag you up. And if you're deserving, I guess. I don't want to criticize people, but if you're deserving, we'll chuck one your way. And we've just had a couple of people kindly donate some money to upgrade, and those that we think could use the upgrade, we'll chuck one their way. So yeah, that's how you can get one. Just jump on the Discord basically and have a talk to Ashra. He's in the waiting room. Right. Next question, Algared, please.
Okay, so Pars says, I have a Kickstarter Rear Admiral pack, but I upgraded to as a Phoenix. Not a bad choice. I have an upgrade CCU from this to the Carrack and have held off applying it for 8 years now. Question: should I just apply it?
If you really want, you can even if you want to go back to the Connie. If you contact Concierge, they will remove it in some of those rare instances where you have rarer packs. So if you want to go back, you can do that as well. It really is up to you, man. That's almost a fix my fleet question, isn't it, Algared?
It is.
Yeah, reach out to me and Algared, and we'll have a chat to you. I think that's it. You say what you're going to say, Algared, but yeah, if you really want a more detailed answer, I'm happy to talk to you, because that won't take that long, will it, Algared? So yeah, reach out to Algared or myself, and if not both, one of us will have a chat to you. But yeah, Algared, you were going to say?
I think it depends. What do you want to do in game? If you're wanting to do deep space exploration, then I think you can't go past the Carrack.
Yeah.
Of those choices.
Maybe if we ask him to do a follow-up question, give us your top 3 professions and say, and just give us in context. This is the guy that was talking about the Carrack upgrade, and then just say, what are your 3 professions that you're looking forward to most in game? And we'll do a follow-up if you want. We'll do it live.
But the other thing you've got is on both ships, you've got a snub ship. You've got either a P-72 or a C-8. In depending on which ship you go. You've got an Ursa. You've now got the Lynx in the Phoenix, and you've got the I've forgotten the name, and the Ursa in the Carrack. Then you've got to consider other things. How many crew you've got? Connie's got pilot controlled guns and missiles, but and has turrets. The Carrack has more turrets and needs more crew. So it really is, Carrack can have more cargo, so you've got this 6 of one, half a dozen of other. Another option would be, and I know you're looking at I've got the CCU, should I apply it? If you think the Carrack is too big or that, and you want to do exploration, you could even upgrade or degrade your Phoenix into an Aquila, I suppose. But yeah, I think it depends on what you're after. In terms of doing in game, I think both ships are awesome.
Yep. 10 times as long as what I said, but absolutely correct. Right. Next question.
Hey, I will give people the detailed answers. They are.
Algared, that's why we're here, because you and I are opposites. That's just how it is. You do the details, I do the synopsis. That's how it works.
Yep, and we do the Talking Heads radio show where we disagree and agree and yeah, I think it works just because of the nature of conversation.
Yep.
Silver Smile. With the Avenger Titan increasing by $5 to make it the same price as the Avenger Stalker, do you expect the Titan variants to also rise in price in the future? Everything will increase in price over time.
Yeah, and they've said as much. That said, though, the Titan and the Stalker are very similar, and I think they would realise not many people are buying the Stalker, because it's anyone that with half a brain can realise that you'll be able to earn those pods in game, and it's just a gun layout. So they obviously sell next to no Stalkers. Well, honestly, it's not something I'd recommend to anyone.
I can recall seeing a vertical slice of Squadron 42, and we had the wrecked Avenger from the advocacy agent, and the advocacy agent ship had a couple of chiropods for prisoners, but it also had cargo space, and that made us go, hang on, that means that these pods are modular. You can actually put them in as cargo areas. Will that be what they do, or is that just a unique variant of a ship? But either way, to me, it just says the Stalker variant with all pods is probably not the best way to go.
If you're really into bounty hunting, you could go that way, but like you got to be real. Like, I guess it saves you buying those pods and then in game for the same price. I guess if I really think it through, Algared, it's probably the better value because you're getting all that stuff for free. So now they're the same price. Maybe we should start recommending the Stalker now I think about it.
But it depends.
Let's never talk about that one.
But it depends on.
Well, you can't do cargo with it, can you?
CIG, that's right. It depends on when and how CIG put in the ability to remove or take those pods out. The second they do that, the Stalker becomes the ship of choice. And but why we can't remove those pods to give us cargo space? The Titan still remains a ship because it's a more versatile.
It's a now versus release problem again, isn't it? So yeah, if you're going the long game for release, like you're not playing, then the Stalker might be the better way to go. But yeah, you're absolutely right. If you're playing right now, the Titan's the way to go. No, absolutely agree with you on that.
And while we fully expect those pods to be removable based on what we've seen and heard, we can't say that is what they're going to do 100%. We expect that's going to be the case. We think that's going to be the case, but we can't say yes, that is 100% what's going to happen. And so it's a wait and see aspect. But yeah. So I hope that answers the question, Silver Smile. Josie has a question for us, or Jose has a question for us. Sneak peek had a yellow ruler typically used in crime scenes to mark evidence. It could have been an archaeological ruler. Additionally, the plastic bag on the left is a traditional evidence bag. Okay, yes. I haven't seen the sneak peek on, but just doing that. But yes, all of that does seem would indicate bounty hunting in 320. Possible? Yep. What do you think, X?
Sorry, I was talking to someone that once was... So someone's messaged me and says they want to give away an LTI, potentially, right? So this is just, don't everyone get their hopes up. A Legacy Alpha LTI Squadron 42 SC game pack. So that's one of the really old ones, right? So it's Legacy Alpha. So that means that it comes with Episode 1, Episode 2 of Squadron, and it comes with Star Citizen, and it's one of the much older ones, so it's probably going to be something like a Hornet or a Freelancer or something like that. And he's saying that they would like to give away. We can give. I think so. It's someone we know, right? And they said, "Oh yeah, you guys give it away on a live show." And I'm like, I'm literally doing that right now. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so yeah, what was the question?
So the sneak peek had a yellow ruler listed on it. Used in crime scenes, and an evidence bag. Do you think that indicates bounty hunting in 320?
With the average, sneak peek had a yellow ruler typically used in crime scenes to mark evidence. Additionally, the plastic bag on the left, traditional evidence bag, bounty hunting, and we know they're working on bounty hunting. Me2. Previous things that we've seen with bounty hunting has been a lot to do with scanning and stuff like that as well. So we also know that they did the FPS, what was it, the hand scanning tool, but then it was kind of like put on hold. So we know it's in there. It just hasn't been implemented in the game yet. So yeah, most definitely could be that. And if you also combine that with the things that we saw when they walked in, remember the one where they walked into the back of an Avenger, and they were scanning, you know, the new system, how it's up, down, left, right, instead of the inner thought systems now kind of disappeared. Absolutely.
The other thing that I was thinking of that is because we've kind of got base bounty hunting already where you blow the ships up. That's kind of in, but it's more the set piece problem solving mystery missions. So what happened to the guy who has disappeared in the cave? You know, so. You know, hopefully it'd be nice to see those types of things where it's actually go find what's happened. Don't just find the body, but what's happened to them. Did they trip? Have they been killed? Have they been, you know, what's the evidence you've got? A bit like that very first mission at Covelex Station where You could go in and say, yes, he's guilty, he's done this, or you could dig deeper and find other things that indicate whether he's guilty or innocent. So, and that was if you haven't done that first mission, the Kovalix mission, do that Kovalix mission. It is by far the best mission we've ever had in game.
Yeah, it's definitely the most immersive and atmospheric for sure.
Yep.
Real
that
quick,
was the very first mission we had, and I think that's going to be one that they really pull out.
All right, real quick, I've put it down there on the screen for you. Not everyone else can see it, but yeah, past professions, he came back and said smuggler, small cargo, escort, and exploration. So I run that through MSR is what I come back on smuggling, if that's in that Connie class, but the Phoenix is higher than that, so that rules that out. So, and if I go back to the other smugglers, they're all behind that. So smuggling, unfortunately, being his first profession, he's gone past it. So you'd have to actually take the Phoenix upgrade off, and then go up into what's it? What are they up to now? 275. So that takes you past the Raelian. Is that what it is? 275 at the moment for the Andromeda?
The Phoenix.
No, the Andromeda.
The Andromeda 275, I think.
Yeah, so you've gone past everything. So unfortunately, you've missed all the smuggling ships. Escort, I go to Reclaimer. Not Reclaimer, sorry, Redeemer. Would you say that would be the best escort there above 275?
If you're looking at escorting other ships, yeah.
Yeah. And then
if you're looking at passenger transport, as being escorting a well-to-do passenger, then that's where your Phoenix comes in.
Well, I don't know what
escorting a ship.
So maybe we can get past to clarify, but I've never seen anyone call escort VIP. No. Right, so my brain, you've gone a different place to I think anywhere most people go.
I'm not disagreeing with where you'd normally go. Like I was saying, if you're talking about ships, then Redeemer. If you're talking about passenger transport, like taking someone,
but I don't think what I'm trying to say,
and 90% of people never talk about it that way.
Yeah,
but
I've never seen it called. I've never seen it called that.
Yeah.
So I don't.
We'd normally say it was passenger transport.
Yeah. So I just don't think you should go down that route. Right. And then the Explorer, obviously, would be your Carrack. So I hope that helps you out, Paz. But yeah, it's a difficult one because you definitely have to go back to go to the because you've put Escort in front of Explorer. Entirely up to you, Paz. But yeah, I hope that answers your question. You can do a bit of cargo with the Phoenix, and you can do a little bit of cargo with the Carrack as well. But if you specifically after smuggling, all those ships are behind the Andromeda, so you've got no way to contact CIG and get back to that, unfortunately. Yeah, so I think your answer is go up to the Carrack or go to a Redeemer. I can't really... Algared, that's kind of where it's at, yeah.
What was the ship in the Rear Admiral pack?
So that's the pack that I've got, and it's a Connie Andromeda. So he can go back to a Comedy Andromeda and then go forward to a Redeemer, or he can just go on from his Phoenix to. Well, I don't know. From what he said, I know what you're trying to say. You're trying to make sure that Escort's not where he's at with the VIP, and that's totally valid. So there's your three options. So summarize: stay where you are, go up to the Carrack, or go back to the Andromeda and then go forward to the Redeemer. I think that is the simplest answer. So yeah, I hope that helps you out, Paz. If you want any more of that answered, please feel free to reach out to Algared or myself. All right, cool.
But there is also the element where every ship, even Aurora, could do smuggling. It just doesn't have any shielded area to, if you're doing.
Yeah, it doesn't specialize. Yeah, agreed.
Every ship can do exploration, but every ship can do escort, but some ships are going to be like, if you're after the best escort ship, then I'd agree with the Redeemer is by far, I think, the best escort ship because it's smaller, compact. It packs a wallop. So depends on which one you want to be your focus. But yeah, so anyway, moving on.
All right, so we've got a returning chatter here who hasn't put question in his thing on So normally we don't let people jump the queue here too much, but Valorfax has directly added me and not actually put the word question in his question. So I'm going to answer this one for you. But from now on, Valorfax, if you want to ask a question, put the word question in, and it gets taken out of the chat and put into our Discord, and it comes up as a list of questions. So please preference your questions with the word question somewhere. Do you need to join an org to get the most out of Star Citizen? What does solo or dual player experience look like? Algared, I'll let you take that one and start.
Solo gameplay is, well, you can play solo and you can pick up groups, and I know there are people who do that. I think it comes down to what you're after. And if you want to play in a group and you want to do multi-crew ship and you want to do that type of stuff, then often joining a group is not a bad thing. But also doing pickup groups with people is, again, not bad, because people do like.
You did see that on the screen, right, Algared?
I did see that on the screen.
What the hell is that word? All right, so you guys will see in a minute what I'm talking about. Like, what the? Sorry, that's just bizarre. Sorry, I'll explain in a minute. Sorry to interrupt, Algared. Oh, my bad. Sorry. So it does come down to what you're after, and yeah, solo gameplay. Go start playing the game, meet up with people in game. You find you enjoy them. You end up making them friends. You end up forming an org. Bang. Yep. I can make this short and sweet. The game is clearly, as you go up, so to speak, trying to push you together to work with other people. It wants that multi-crew experience. Now, you can stay down the bottom, so to speak, in your starter ship, and there will be ships, even when you're working within a group. So say you're in a salvage crew or a mining crew, you can tell a vulture and a prospector is going to work with those bigger ships. You can stay in your solo ship, but it really wants to encourage you to try and work together for mutual benefit, right? That is clearly something. But you can stay off on your own, but that's all you'll ever be. You're not going to expand beyond that. And some people, that's all they want to do, and that's totally fine. But if you want to go, make heaps more money, it's trying to push you together. It's using rating systems, and it's going to have all these systems to help you work together with other people. That is clearly part of it. Do you need an org to do that? No, you don't. Because you can just keep finding random people. Will you possibly make an org on the friends and people that you meet? Absolutely. Right? But it's not essential. I don't think it is essential. One of the reasons why me and Algared we've been asked, oh God, how many hundreds of times at this point to make an Inforunners org. One of the reasons we haven't is we've just seen the rise and fall. We've been here a long time, right? And we've just seen the rise and fall of so many orgs because there's just not enough to do, right? Yeah. So when the game gets to a point where me and Algared are like, right, we want to play this every day now, then we'll probably make an org, right? And if that's too late and everyone's moved on and we don't find anyone, that's our bad, right? But I think that's kind of where we're at, Algared, isn't it? Specifically going making Inforunners org, yeah? We're waiting until it matures. I'm an officer in an org. Yeah. I'm an officer for Southern Cross Alliance. But we've always taken the view that, hey, join us if you want to join us. If you like what we do, hang with us. But 90% of the org members hang out and do other stuff at the moment. We'll play games on Friday. And they'll do. Sometimes they'll get in and do squad, do Star Citizen. We'll do the racing because we run Crux Cup, or and we'll do stuff. But generally, if you join the org and you find you guys just aren't my group, hey, find another group that you like and join that. Don't just stay with an org just because I'm in the org, I must stay with the org. Just find one, stick with a group. Join one with your mates. If your mates are in an org and they're saying, hey, join this org, join them. If your mates are in it and you're hanging with your mates all the time, join that org. But other than that, just play it by ear and stick with. I suppose join an org with the people you're game with. That would be my advice. But yeah. All right, ISC is up, so we're going to cut over to ISC and watch that together now. This is what I was talking about. Social. What the hell does that mean? That was what I was. Cognoscible? I don't know, but it was a mouthful. So I guess we'll find out what cognoscible means. Monster Avery did say what it was in Twitch. He said Assuming you're talking about the Cogni thing from ISC, capable of being judicial, heard, and determined. So maybe Bounty Hunting 2.0 intro. Sounds like a good episode. You want to come up to you, darling?
Yep.
All right, come. No, not you, Algared, the cat. She wants a pat. Oh, you're wet, darling. Have you been outside?
Hey, I didn't want to.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Yeah,
Every time we talk to the folks at the mission feature team, they've always got a number of interesting irons in the fire. And as they pursue work on the upcoming Alpha 320 and beyond, now is no different. So let's check in with them and get some updates on a few of the new features they're working on, including one improvement to the law system that's a long time coming.
We've released the salvage contracts already, and you buy the contract from a contract broker, and it's just a transaction. You buy the rights to salvage, and you can just salvage at your own leisure. There's no risk. So we wanted to add a bit more variety. The illegal ones, there's a timer with enemies, but once you get rid of them, like, that's it. So we added the cover-up missions.
It's an unlawful mission, and the idea is that Ninetales have committed a crime and want you to cover their tracks.
We know security is going to investigate the crime scene, so you're being hired to scrap all the identifiable markings and paint, and you have a certain time limit.
It's the first mission really to have fail timer. So if you don't take the skin off of a ship in time, the police will turn up, instantly clock it and say, you know, this is Ninetales and you'll have failed your job.
You fail the mission, you don't get paid, you have nothing to show for it. However, if you do successfully manage to completely wipe the ship clean, then you get paid because you rendered them service, which is also going to tie in with reputation, which the current contracts don't implement yet.
If you do want to get greedy, you can still get greedy. You can still start taking parts off. That isn't part of a mission. You can still go aboard, and there's probably going to be, you know, really valuable things aboard.
What I like about this mission is that it's a bit of a precursor to how we want to start evolving the salvage missions as we go. Currently, salvage missions don't have reputation type.
Sounds like a little bit of the best of yet to come, Algared, you know, new missions across the board, so to speak. And we do know they've been integrating the older missions into that new mission system, so we're going to get a bit more variety coming up. I still think that's a little bit locked behind server meshing and Squadron 42 and things like that. What about you?
Yeah, I certainly think this is expanding the missions and certainly giving different options. This is the more, as I said, this is the unlawful salvage mission.
Thank you. So, hang on, Space Check just got us to check. I forgot to turn the sound thing off. Sorry for that, guys. Sorry you've been missing everything. We can restart it, Algared. Let's restart it.
Yep.
So apologies for that. We forgot about the noise gate. Too much shit going on today at once. All right, we'll go back to the start. Sorry about that, guys. All right, pull it again.
Every time we talk to the folks at the mission feature team, they've always got a number of interesting irons in the fire. And as they pursue work on the upcoming Alpha 320 and beyond, now is no different. So let's check in with them and get some updates on a few of the new features they're working on, including one improvement to the law system that's a long time coming.
We've released the salvage contracts already, and you buy the contract from a contract broker, and it's just a transaction. You buy the rights to salvage, and you can just salvage at your own leisure. There's no risk. So we wanted to add a bit more variety. The illegal ones, there's a timer with enemies, but once you get rid of them, like, that's it. So we added the cover-up missions.
It's an unlawful mission, and the idea is that Ninetales have committed a crime and want you to cover their tracks.
We know security is going to investigate the crime scene, so you're being hired to scrap all the identifiable markings and paint, and you have a certain time limit.
It's the first mission really to have fail timer. So if you don't take the skin off of a ship in time, the police will turn up, instantly clock it and say, you know, this is Ninetales and you'll have failed your job.
You fail the mission, you don't get paid, you have nothing to show for it. However, if you do successfully manage to completely wipe the ship clean, then you get paid because you rendered them service, which is also going to tie in with reputation, which the current contracts don't implement yet.
If you do want to get greedy, you can still get greedy. You can still start taking parts off. That isn't part of a mission. You can still go aboard, and there's probably going to be, you know, really valuable things aboard.
What I like about this mission is that it's a bit of a precursor to how we want to start evolving the salvage missions as we go. Currently...
All right, so this is where we're up to when the audio filter was not on. Sorry about that. So yeah, long story short, I just said this is a precursor to... we know they're putting missions in with the new... merging them into the new system, was it? The new mission system? And Algared, you were saying... what were you saying?
Yeah, I was saying this was the illegal missions, you know, as they said. But it actually just, as I was rewatching it, it made me think back to the question we just answered in terms of should I join an org? This type of mission is classic, awesome group gameplay.
Especially for
because
pirates.
For pirates, you group together as pirates, you strip that ship. Whilst the people are stripping the paint off, you've got others in there ripping the interiors out and the other items out.
Well, ironically, Algared, it's the opposite of escort, because you're having industrial players go with attacking players. So the attackers go in, then the industry people follow up. And where normally you've got industry people transporting cargo or something like that, and the escorts are protecting them. It's literally the inverse, which is kind of interesting if you think about it. It's not something I thought. Like, are we actually going to see combat players paying industry players to run with them? Could be interesting, couldn't it? Yeah. I mean, it's the opposite. It's interesting.
So certainly, this mission is the next stage. You've had the combat's gone on. We know the police are going to turn up and check this out, and you're being there to try and get rid of the stuff that says yes, this person did the deed. So you want to get rid of the markings that says, you know, the police have heard, hey, ship XYZ has been attacked by these guys. So you're getting rid of everything that indicates this is that ship. So yeah, I could see that, but I could see it really being a group activity where a group of vultures go there. The more vultures you've got stripping that paint off, the quicker you're going to do it. But the more people you've got doing it means the quicker you can also strip the interiors and those valuable items out. So to me, this is answer that question. Can you do this solo? Absolutely. Will you get more out of it as a group? Absolutely. That's kind of that. And that's kind of that answer that question. Can I play this game solo or as a duo? Yep. Yes.
Gives a good example, doesn't it, Algared?
Will I get more as an org? Yes. Yeah. Or will I get more as a group? Yes. And that's the balance you've got to look at.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's always, I always find more the merrier. I'm one of those people. I think you are too, Algared. Yep. So yeah. All right, let's keep going.
Salvage missions don't have reputation tied into them. You just buy the contract and you're done. But this is going to start our work towards having more reputation scopes. You're actually going to have rewards coming in with finishing these missions. There's actually going to be a reason for doing these in the long run.
Especially...
One of the things we noticed...
Sorry, go ahead.
Especially because you can also share missions with your friends, which means you split the proceeds and everything else. So yeah, it just adds to that group mission aspect and working with groups. So,
all right.
Is that even though they're salvage missions, now that you can take cargo off and weapons off, people are actually leaving the skin. They weren't using the salvage beams as we imagined they would. So it's been nice that we can actually make that part of the mission. We can make the feature the mission critical aspect.
Does that also say something about the people are not enjoying the hull stripping though? I'll just put that back to you, Luke. Is there some people just like? Well, I know for myself, I'm waiting for munching. So you know.
Yeah. You got to admit, hull stripping is very relaxing and but it is time consuming.
They have slowed it down considerably. It is very slow now. I would say it is too slow, personally.
Yep.
But yeah.
And you've got people who go in and they go, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to do that because it's just too long. But I can go and strip the weapons off, and I strip the weapons off in the cargo out, and I make more money than if I spend 45 minutes stripping off paint. So
that's the answer, though, Algared, is slow it down so it's enjoyable speed and reduce the cost. But at the moment, they want the cost higher so more people use it. So I think that shows us a thing that down the road that they'll probably increase the speed to be to match the fun. I think it's a temporary thing where we are now, but that speed that it is right now is it is woefully slow. Like you've got, I basically just turn on the biggest laser and have it sit there until the percentage gets to 0. Then I move it. It's that boring though, because all you're doing is move. But you're just cutting. It's like a cookie cutter. Just constantly cookie cutting, and it's the other one before where the other one where you were moving and kind of circularly drawing and stuff. I found that more interesting, but yeah.
Yep. But I think part of it is also that encouragement to work as a group to do it.
Mm.
So you go with 2 cutters instead of, or 2 vultures instead of 1, or a reclaimer and a vulture, and to strip it. So the more people you've got working on doing the stripping, the quicker it's going to be, the less drudgery you'll have. So I think there's kind of that element, and this is part of the alpha aspect where they're dialing things in and working out where the levels are going to sit. It's going to change.
I think we're about to hear about more Horizon platform missions.
It does look like that.
All right, here we go.
With Siege of Orison, we built these new Crusader platforms. You've definitely seen Solanke platform, Brushwood, Heartmoor, and building those, we essentially got all of the building blocks required to expand Crusader even further.
We made Inspiration Park, which is a whole collection of 4 platforms and a whole bunch of buildings. Then we started doing platform infiltration missions on them. The problem with that is that every time a mission location is used, it can't be used by another mission at that point. It's kind of reserved. So if 2 people do that, that's already 6 buildings out of the rotation, which limits a lot of the buildings. So what we decided is to have several more of these platform parks.
We really just wanted one location that would be for Siege. We intended to copy and paste those all over the place in new formations. And that would mean that the Siege Islands would just be for Siege, so that the event and the missions don't have to share the same location. We knew we could then take those islands, reconfigure them, and then just place them all over Crusader.
Using multiple locations around Crusader spreads players out more, which helps the performance. And
So I don't know about you, Algared, though, but I just don't want Crusader to become this place you go and it's all combat. Let's see some, what do they call them? Islands. I want to see some islands that are, an industry mission or a delivery mission or whatever. I don't want Crusader to just be the combat planet, which starts to sound like what it's becoming.
Unfortunately, FPS games are going to have that focus, but
because they've done it once already, so it's low-hanging fruit to duplicate it. Yeah.
But I can see this type of thing being on Hurston. I can see it being on Arcor. I can see it being on Microtech. So those types of missions, yes, in Crusader, it's on the platforms, but in some ways, it's no different from a bunker mission on Hurston or a tower, or what could be a tower mission on Arcor or a outpost mission in Microtech.
Don't know about you.
I can see those being done across the board, but I'd like to see other types of missions as well.
Well, I'm just thinking some of those fuel tankers and stuff like that, maybe a Starfarer mission where you actually have to deliver fuel to people or something like that. They're the type of things I think we will get them eventually down the road, but yeah, they are definitely down.
We've said in the past, there are situations where stations are using oxygen or water, or there'll be delivery missions where you have to take the resources to the station so they can keep it going. You look at the med beds. We know that over time they're going to be using resources to heal and do stuff. So you can see that delivery mission of those resources. So it's not just going to be. Hopefully, it's not just going to be combat. I really hope it's not just going to be a pissant combat. Always sim that appeals to the morons who are just pew heads.
I think eventually, I think even when I say that right now, like Crusader becomes the combat planet, I think that is maybe what it will be initially, because it's lower hanging fruit, as I said, and we do know that they only have enough people to go around. But I do think eventually we will get there with that for everything. Like you said, it'd be really great to see that on Hurston and stuff like that. And I think we will get there. But you got to remember, from their point of view, it allows them to take what they already have and test it out before extending it out to other locations. So yeah.
And as I said, it's very easy for them at the moment to take these platforms they've got and just duplicate them and change names or do other stuff.
And it's a nice way to fill out Crusader, because Crusader is a very big planet. So
a very big planet that's very empty. So,
that's
yes.
it. And that's the other thing, Algared. I think you and I would also say I would expect in due time. So right now we've like a lot of the platforms are a bit samey, like the building blocks are the same. I would expect down the road to see like an industrial platform might be different to, because like now they've kind of got that urbanized environment for the siege. I think we could get some different platform types down the road potentially. You know, like a cargo storage platform. As an example.
And at the moment, if you think about Crusader, we actually do have the other areas. We've got all the bunkers.
Yep.
Same on ArtCorp. We've got all the bunkers. The only place I don't think we've really got anything at the moment is ArtCorp.
Yep.
So these different platforms in Crusader are really bunker missions. They're just... I'm going
to be honest with you. Something that'd be really unique with Crusader that I thought we might get it a little bit is, do you remember when they had the they've got the area where you can climb down the ladder and you've got that little access problem that's literally almost like Luke hanging on the bottom of Cloud City?
Yep.
Why don't they make really vertical levels that you can literally see out and down into the clouds and stuff like that? They've got these cloud layers. Why can't they have like literally a vertical skyscraper in the clouds? Think of that from a gameplay terms, like literally as you're going down the levels, you're going through different colors of clouds and stuff like that. What if they even have, you know, later on when missions get complicated, why can't you have to free fall to get like the things destroyed in an area? So you've got to like parachute down or something. Like you can imagine the action writes itself in a lot of ways, you know. So
look, I can even see there'll be down the track. We'll have you know rescue missions where a ship has run out of fuel and it's slowly sinking into the
absolutely.
Into the depth, and you've got to go there and refuel.
Hell, the whole station could be doing that, Algared. A whole platform. And you're going to rescue the platform. Yeah.
You've either got to go and refuel the platform or repair the thrusters before that platform sinks.
No, the other way. You may want the platform to go down.
Yes, well,
you know, so,
you know, if you're a pirate, yes.
Yeah.
So
well, not pirate. You might just want to destroy the pirate's base. Like it's like we can't recover this platform. We're just going to take the whole thing out. Stuff it. You know?
Well, what do you do if you can't? You know, you get to a point where you've stripped everything off you want, even just salvage. They've got to the point they've salvaged that platform. What do they want to do with it now? Well, okay, we want to build a new one, but this old one's there. Let's just sink it in and plan it, and you know, we've taken everything we can, we've salvaged everything we can. Let's just sink it and start again.
So Kaiser Soul 76 on YouTube says, also, why doesn't Orison have drones to save people that fall off? We've been saying that for a while. Maybe they couldn't afford handrails, so maybe they just, every time someone falls off, they fall so slowly through the gas layer, they just send a ship or a drone down to recover them. So yeah, maybe down the line that'd be really cool. Is like if you fall off, a drone like one of the drones from the Apollo just comes and saves you and pulls you back up and respawns you in hospital. That would be a really cool mechanic, I think, eventually to put in. And I think maybe they will. We'll have to wait and see.
I will say, I was doing some practice for Crux Cup in an 890 jump around Horizon. We were running out of fuel. We were trying to get out. We missed it by about 50 kilometers or something before we got into space to get out. So the 890 was plummeting down. One of the guys, I think it was Echo, actually flew his ship, docked in the 890. Then we got into his ship and exited the 890. So yes, saving missions on Crusader actually does work. People are doing it now. Totally bizarre, but yeah.
Emergent gameplay at its finest. All right, here we go.
Kind of wanted to use the planet itself more as well.
The intent was to run Siege for 319, but unfortunately we weren't able to hit that. We ended up in a very awkward position where we had disabled the ability to have the current missions that went out on those islands in 318 available in 319, and we also didn't have the other islands placed. So we just had to turn those missions off completely until we get these new floating islands. So we made the decision to add more islands all around Crusader. It allowed us more freedom, like we can tell different stories. The new consignment mission involves the item dispensers that you've seen at Jumptown and in Korea.
The consignment missions are made by Max.
You'll be tasked with going to the UGF to retrieve a mission-critical item.
There's several NPCs walking around, either security guards or other NPCs, and several of them will be carrying data pads with a code on them.
By taking the tablets on them, players can see these codes.
You will have to sift through multiple codes to find that item.
Think of it as an Amazon locker where you have a code for your delivery. So you have to look on the tablet, which code hold which set of items. You go to a terminal, enter the code, and then it starts spitting out these objects one by one.
You can even type that code in and like stop it halfway through and then type the code in again and get the other half of the consignment out. The consignments can be found in various places. Like there's a lawful mission where you go and the security occupants of a UGF have been
Definitely sounds like they're talking about what you were talking about, Algared, where we're starting to see more lawful and unlawful missions. So it's about time we're getting that balancing act, yeah.
And I think that, you know, it's a good thing.
Yeah, agreed. All right.
Killed by the Ninetales. So there's all these corpses around and you have to go searching through them while fighting off the Ninetales to find these data pads. And, you know, scanning through the data pad and you finding whether it's got the mission critical items that you're looking for, or maybe just some really valuable items for things like Hadanai and Dolavi and things like that you usually only find in like one-handed carryables we're adding into boxes. So that's a nice little like bonus there you'll be able to find. The greedier you are or the longer you take to get this mission done, the mission grows more and more difficult.
We built a new system, a new module, which...
I like that idea of the mission getting harder the longer you take. And it's a bit like that stripping the paint one. The longer you take, the more chance the security are going to turn up. And the reason I like it is because, you know, that mission there with all the dead bodies, I was thinking, people go in there, they'll start stripping the bodies, they'll start stripping the armour, they'll start, you know, people will take their time. And if you've got all the time in the world, you end up filling up your ship with all the junk and then selling it off. But this, if it's getting tougher and harder, you've got to prioritise what you're doing. So again, it appeals to, if you're doing it solo, you're not going to be able to get as much as if you're doing it with a group. So again, it's like answering that question, is it better to be solo or is it better to be in a group? So
I think it's a little bit like what Monster Avery says. I go with him, he says, free loot, naked bunker runs are back. So yeah, I'm a big fan
exactly
of...
what I was thinking.
Big fan of naked bunker runs. People often go buy guns and kit up before they go in. I'm like, stuff that. I'll just go in naked and get everything and come out. All for one, baby. Because then you got nothing lost, everything gained. You know, if you run in and get shot, who cares? You know, so yeah. And you just respawn on you respawn on the carrack bed or something like that. If you're worried, you take a carrack with you and just respawn and go again. Yeah. So yeah.
I hated doing the bunker runs with stuff that I either the kit I started with or or the subscriber items or anything like that, because you lose them.
Yep.
You go in or commit suicide, get a white spacesuit if you want, and run in, or go in absolutely naked and just pick up stuff off people.
Miscars does say, getting tired of combat-focused missions. Absolutely, but we have to wait for that extra gameplay to come in. So again, it's more of what they've got now and low-hanging fruit and things like that. We're not going to get a lot of new stuff this year because it's so much hands-on decks for Squadron 42. So yeah, take what you can get.
And that was the comment I was trying to make when I said, the pew pew morons. I like pew pew, but I don't want everything to be pew pew. I want there to be that variation. And
again, Algared, we can turn around and say, though, the later it comes, the better it's going to be too. So
it is always, and it is always that aspect. And as time goes on, we are seeing the in-game gameplay just being built on and expanded and grown out. So,
all right, here we go again.
We're calling the anti-up system. It allows us to spawn increasingly difficult waves of AI that will approach and attack the player while they're at a location.
The AI coming out of it grow more difficult,
So that's them showing that, you know how everyone sits around looting for ages? That's trying to get them to get you to move on. So that's what that part is there, anyway.
Through light, heavy, medium armors. The unlawful version of this, you're actually acting as the Ninetales, say. So you go into a UGF that's run by securities, and you have to kill the bosses that come out and get the data pad off of those.
I do a lot of bunker missions, so I'm excited to get some more variety in them. Unfortunately, like I play more on the lawful side of things, so if it's like a bunker mission where I have to kill like security guards, I'll be less inclined to do it. But if it's shoot 9 tails and steal their stuff, then yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah,
I think, like him. Yeah, I think it also shows that a lot of what they're doing now is testing to fill stuff out. Like the bunkers we have right now, you've seen that they're going to completely expand the bunkers we're getting. What we are literally in now, and this kind of goes back to what Midgards was saying, we are in a test phased area, Midgards. So it is only going to expand. And like right there, you know how they're moving into a mission now where we're seeing salvage going in to help the combat people. I think eventually you'll probably even go on foot with multiple people. You might even take an engineer in, you know, as an example, and the engineer's got to fix something while you're under fire. You might take a hacker in. So when you're going in, think of that multi-crew team that goes in. You know, you literally got a fire team going in. You know, you got your combat guys, your technician, your expert. You know, you might even have an Paul go in with you. You know, like a law guy go in with you that's trying to decipher something from an alien language. You can see all the theories and different routes that this can take in time, but we've got to do the baby steps to get there, and that's what they're doing. They're using this as a testing environment to learn and mature those quests. So yeah, we'll see.
Now, the other thing that I think is really nice about what this guy's saying is the fact that normally when you hear CIG people talk about missions, 9 times out of 10 it feels like, I want to do the piracy. I want to do the... He's the first guy I can recall hearing saying, I want to do the lawful stuff. I don't want to do the piracy stuff. I've got that lawful bent.
Yeah.
And so it's nice to see, it's nice to hear that, because not everyone wants to be a pirate. People want both sides, and so it's nice to see that CIG have also got people who are like that. So
I can't unsee it now that I've seen it, but he reminds me of a particularly famous metal bucket wearing Australian. This guy.
You mean a leprechaun?
No, I mean Ned Kelly. He reminds me of Ned Kelly.
Yes.
Looks a bit like Ned Kelly. Anyway, let's keep going.
The beard. The beard does it.
It's a beard thing.
So the reputation ladder is going to be tied to these missions. A lot of players care about the reputation ladder themselves in completing that process, but as an extra incentive to climb it, they will unlock the harder tiers of this mission. And in the process of doing so, there will be more data pads that can drop across the mission. It will be more difficult to stay at the location the more data pads you want to retrieve, and you can sift your way through the mission critical items and the extra items of the things you want, load them up, get them out of the UGF onto your ship and away. So it's going to be all about how much players want to go for the extra bonus loot, whether it's worth the risk of staying if they are low on ammo or are being overwhelmed, or if they have enough friends to bring to them to the location, which versions of the mission that they do. So I think it's going to be really interesting, and it gives players the opportunity to do missions at their own pace and, you know, remain at the location as long as possible as the risk increases.
Since the inception of the law system, we've had the issue where if someone trespassed on your ship, you would first be given away by the chat system saying that you joined the ship.
Gives your position away straight away. I've always disliked that notification, and it pops up whenever you enter any ship, not just your own. We had that popping up all the time when you went above a Javelin, say, in the Fleet Week. So I'm happy to say that we're changing that now so that you'll only see that notification if you are a member of a party of the owner whose ship you're going aboard.
With the new implementation of the trespass system, the chat will no longer give you away, but it's not all benefits for the trespasser, because now the pilot can defend their ship without legal repercussions, which makes the trespasser at risk at all times.
We've basically made the interior of ships a trespass area for anyone who hasn't been invited aboard, and by invited we mean in a party with the owner of a ship. So imagine there are 2 players, they're in a party together, and then there's a third, like, trying to sneak aboard. The owner obviously enters a ship as normal, doesn't see anything. The party member, same, steps aboard, doesn't see anything. This third player trying to sneak aboard will see a private property warning and then be trespassing. But, you know, you step off, a few seconds later, that's fine. No one's allowed to shoot you anymore. You know, could have been a mistake.
I wonder, Algared, if this is a precursor to hacking, being able to open people's ships again.
Look, if you're trespassing on a ship, you know that whole hacking is part of that aspect, isn't it? It's you hack the ship, you open it, you get on the ship. The big thing is not the crew not necessarily being given a notification at the air, so you're there. So doing a sweep of your ship to make sure that there's no people on there becomes important. Checking out the nooks and crannies of your ship, if you think someone could have got on, is important. And then, whereas in the past, you know, someone's on your ship and you'd sit there and saying, I can't do anything because we're in the armistice zone. Well, now maybe we can. So that's a bonus. And so it's going to work both ways, I think. So.
All right.
But if you stay aboard, you're just lawfully be allowed to be attacked by any owner of that ship or their party.
With you having the trespass settings for you and your party on a ship now, it just adds a little bit more of a risk for people who are trying to potentially grief or simply play through that gameplay loop, and they will know that they're trespassing and feel that extra danger when they board somebody else's ship as they are in a monitored area.
We're really excited to give you guys this. It's been a long time coming, we know, but it was just not as simple as the trespassing around areas, which was just a simple action area. This has so many edge cases, as you can imagine. You can actually nest trespassing, so you can have someone else's ship aboard your ship, and you can be in a trespass area, and we have to figure out like which trespass trumps the other trespassers. We also have to build in precautions. So say you're lured aboard a ship, you're invited to a party, and then they kick you from the party. You'll still be allowed to be aboard that ship until you leave. It's just that you won't be allowed to defend that ship lawfully anymore. Also, if you hurt anyone aboard that ship, you will instantly then be trespassing as well, and they'll be able to shoot you back lawfully. It's taken a lot more work than even we originally thought it would, but it's just going to be a real game changer.
It finally gives ship owners the right to defend themselves on their ships and fight back against the pesky pirates we have out there.
One of the things farther ahead that we're working on is barge heist. It's basically taking what we know to be popular and fun in this game, so something like Jumptown, but we're making it have a finite resource and a much more interesting location.
What we're doing is allowing players to buy in information similar to how some of the salvage contracts work. And from there, they get the information about where this cargo barge is, owned by Crusader, and happens to be just in the middle of this heist situation where the Ninetails are taking it over and they're trying to take all this stuff from Crusader.
It's the barge that we use in Siege of Horizon, heavily modified, so there'll be lots of entrances and exits. What's great about using the barge...
Well, there's a different platform, Algared.
Yep.
Right off the bat.
Is that we can put it anywhere on Crusader, you know, far away from the landing zones or anything that, you know, may cause performance to dip. So there should be no performance impacts.
We've placed a terminal, a cargo terminal, inside of the container interior of the barge. And when players find this terminal, they can turn it on to open various containers using different kinds of ID codes found in the environment.
Basically, you unlock several cargo containers belonging to different companies, and different companies have different items in there.
So hopefully, players will learn which containers might contain what types of materials based on the brands, right? Crusader Industries is transporting completely different types of loot than maybe, say, ArcCorp is.
The cargo containers open all in different rooms around that location. You're fighting over every single box, trying to hold down like a room. There's no way you can hold down the entire thing unless you hold all the entrances. The location is so like so much of a maze. You'll have people stumbling in and out of it, and lots of people wondering, you know, oh, is this person here to steal a box, or he's just trying to get through?
Just combining more of the same, because I'm hearing the codes right from that other mission they talked about in the bunkers, and now they're just combining that with the Siege of Horizon. So again, it's nothing new. It's just, combining
It's
stuff
just putting
that
it, giving it a different look, different feel, but
different spin.
again, it's just padding out the types of missions and options that are there, and even giving that lawful, unlawful spin to to the missions. It's again just.
I am happy we're getting some more unlawful stuff because they're definitely not had enough for the people that want to play on that side. So it's good to see they're getting a bit more on their side, so to speak. There's not really been a lot of motivation to do so, let's be honest. So all right.
The next room.
What we really wanted to achieve with this is give the players complete freedom of which side to take. You don't take a contract from Crusader asking for help, or from Ninetales wanting you to help them to take something.
In future, when we have reputation-based hostility and you can make friends with these guys, they will be your cover. So I can see plenty of exciting PvP action that's going to come from this mission. So that's a brief look at some of the things the mission team has been working on recently. We can't wait to get in your hands, especially the ship trespass system. That's going to change the game completely. And yeah, I'm really excited about Barge Heist, so thanks for watching.
Of course, as always, you're going to want to check out the public roadmap at the robertsspaceindustries.com website for details on when each aspect of their continuing work gets scheduled for a specific release. And as for what we learned this week, well, we learned that more platforms means more opportunities for adventure across the gaseous surface of the planet Crusader. That salvage gameplay can be utilized in interesting and creative ways to create new mission types. And that whenever that trespass system comes online, a new day for shipboarding PvP arrives with it. Yeah, it's one we've all been waiting for. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. Thanks for exploring the process of game development with us, and we'll see you all here next week.
I didn't even think about Algared shipboarding PvP. That's a big thing. Big thing for PvP players. Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Every time we talk to the folks on the mission feature team, they've always got a number of interesting irons in the fire. And they pursue work on the upcoming Alpha 320 and beyond. Updates on a few new features they're working on, including one improvement to the new law system that is going to be a long time coming. You're going to want to check out the public roadmap for robertsspaceindustries.com website. A solid game that can be utilized in interesting...
Yeah, this has just gone weird. I'm gonna stop this. This has got way too
cringy.
Yeah, way too weird for my taste. Sorry, but yeah. All right. I guess we'll do another cutter. Algared, what do you reckon?
Yep, it's time for a cutter.
Yep. All right. So, Tactical Beard. All right, we'll switch this back over real quick. Hey, Tactical, how you doing, man?
Hello, hello.
Cool.
Hello, hello.
Tell us why you'd like a cutter, buddy.
I personally have my access to the game, but I need to drag one of my buddies into the cult.
And is your what is your buddy on hard times? Doesn't want to play? Tell us why he is deserving one for free, essentially.
When I bring up Star Citizen to him, he seems very interested, but like he only knows the surface level. So I feel like a crazy person in front of the whiteboard with all the strings trying to explain all the stuff that's coming. So he's just mostly just not too sure about buying into the game.
So you kind of want to give him a taste of it and pull him in.
I think once I drag him in, he'll be hooked.
Okay. Yeah, I got no. Algared, what about you? You got any qualms there?
Not really. Not really.
Yeah.
Get him to create an account, and then send me his contact details or his account name and account email. If he's not made an account, then if he uses executes right, my referral code, it gives us a way to kind of check that. Referral codes, if they don't spend anything, you don't get the referral, but you say they go into a pending column, so you can actually double check, yes, they've made an account, they don't have one already, blah, blah, blah. But once he does that, I will then gift him one of the cutter packs we've got, and if it's not claimed after a couple of weeks, I will cancel the gifting. So, yeah.
All right, Tactical, thank you very much. Does anyone say before we drop you off?
No, thanks for the giveaways and stuff. I've been watching you guys for a little bit, decided to hop on and say hi.
Well, thanks CIG for that. That wasn't us.
Yep.
That was
Again,
CIG.
these giveaways, these 8 cutter packs that we've got are from CIG.
Mm.
So I do believe the ships have LTI. From memory, the ships have
LTI and a starter pack. Yeah, they actually come with a copy of the game too. So yeah. All right, Tactical. Take care, man. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Alrighty.
Yep.
All right. I guess we'll take some more questions, Algared, and we'll go back and do another one. So
Yep.
What are we up to? Nova42 says, need an LTI cutter with the winter paint. I think they come with the winter paint, Nova. So the ones we've got are the ones from that time. So I think that's where they're from, Nova. Are you saying we need one, or I don't know? Just PM me, Nova. Yeah, I don't understand the question entirely. So yeah, PM Algared or myself and on Discord, and we'll get back to you on that.
I will say that ideally you actually want, for what we're doing, ideally you want to have not just a standalone ship, but a starter pack.
Yeah, because
the idea is to get people who don't have the game into the game.
That's it, exactly. Yeah. All right, next question. Midgard says, I like this format. You should do more callers for general discussion. Can you do it? Yeah, we can, but we've done it before and people don't turn up. I think a lot of people like to listen. And I guess we can. We can, we'll put a call out at the start and say you can. Maybe we add that to the bot too. You can drop by into the waiting room, and if you're in the waiting room, we'll drag you up for a question. But it also requires one more person to check all their mics and stuff like that. So, yeah,
it's just another added layer of complexity for us, and you guys know how much we love complexity.
I don't mind doing it. It's just that, some people get on and they've got disastrous mics, and I don't want everyone crackling in their ear. But I guess we can try.
Checking mics is a really important thing, because one of the things that I was always told when I started doing the streaming is people can cope with a crappy camera. People can cope with crappy lighting. But they're not going to stick up with crappy microphone. You have a crappy microphone, and your people just go, "No, I'm done." And I've got to admit, I've watched some streams and the lighting's bad and the video's bad, but the content in the and the voice is really good, and you're better with it.
It's not a terrible idea. Crazy Solo 76 says, have a caller of the night and gift them something. That's not a terrible idea. I guess we could do a little bit of discussion, and
maybe that's a variation we could do with not a tuna type stuff.
Yep, or mini fix my fleet. So like we could have got Pars on here and done it live. I can see where you guys are coming from, but it's just not. I think the word I would use, it's not consistent. So sometimes we'll put the call out and it just falls flat. So which is what we did in the past. We initially, when we started this, wanted to do that from the beginning, didn't we, Algared? But it just when we first started doing it, just didn't pan out. We had 1 or 2 people turn up, and then the next week we had none. So we were just kind of like, okay, well then I guess that's done.
And then we went, oh, we'll do some live gameplay, because we were both, we both like playing the game.
Yep.
And we found that trying to answer questions and do the live gameplay just didn't work. I'd start answering questions and stop playing.
Yeah.
Especially if it was a detailed question, and then.
And then I got yelled at because I was getting distracted playing.
You were playing, and then even when I stopped gaming and I'd be looking at questions, I'd get distracted by executive gameplay as well, because I'd be watching what he's doing. And in the end, it was just let's just can it, because it just wasn't working for. We know that we've learnt that a lot of you guys don't actually watch the stream; you listen to the stream
especially at work. You're meant to be working. Get back to work.
But certainly the call and where it works, that does work for that radio style.
But if you want to look, I'll put this out then. If you want to ask your question in audio format, you can literally say in your question, I'm waiting in the waiting room. How about we add that? We'll add that as a standardized thing. If you want to ask your question yourself, jump in the waiting room. Just make sure your mic's working, and we'll drag you up when your question pops up.
And audio in your question, and then go to the waiting room, and we'll have your mic checked, and then
or just say something like a voice question or audio question or something like that, and we'll try it. We'll try it. See how it goes.
Yeah, we'll try anything new.
Yeah.
And who knows, that might give us if we start taking the notes, we can actually work out where that short is and chop them out and give us our short content we keep thinking we need.
All right, so we do another starter pack, Algared.
We may as well, because we got that'll be this will
up
be
to
our
4, so only halfway, and we're about already more than halfway through the show. So here we go.
Yep.
All right, Morrow, how you doing, buddy? You there, mate?
What's up?
How you doing? Good, man. Tell us why you would like a starter pack, a cut a starter pack.
I would like to start a pack for one of my friends, because he's one of the guys I play the most with, and he is really into space and space games and stuff, but he is always a little bit concerned about Star Citizen taking a long time in development, and so he isn't really sure to buy the game. But I always wanted to get him into Star Citizen, so...
Seems to be a running theme today, people that have skeptical friends. Yeah. I'm going to guess you're from the Netherlands. You're from the Netherlands, yeah?
No, Germany.
Germany. Oh, close. Very close. Not far, not far. Frankfurt's like 5 hours from the Netherlands, I've been told by a few people, so it's not too far. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
No, I got no problem with that, Algared. You got any problems with that one?
Nope.
No, so
generally, I'm happy for people who are skeptical to get a game and be. The danger for them is that they will get Pokemon syndrome.
Yeah, so same. So I'm not going to make Algared do that spiel again, but the same as the other guys. Just make your account, reach out to Algared, and if it doesn't get claimed, then
make sure I get the the account name and the email.
I said not going to let Algared do that spiel again because he's done it 4 times.
Do it anyway, I'll do it anyway. But and send it to me, and I'll get that off to them.
Yeah,
again.
I'll do that.
If they're not claimed, I will reclaim them.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, Morrow, is there anything you want to say before we drop you off, man?
No, not really much, but thank you.
No, thank you for joining us, and I hope you guys. I hope you're not having. Yeah, thanks to Sergeant. I hope you're not having too much of a hot summer over there where you are. I heard it's a bit of a scorcher in Europe at the moment. So yeah.
Yeah, but right now there's a thunderstorm outside, so.
Oh, a bit of a reprieve.
Yeah.
All right, mate. You take care.
All right.
Have a good one.
Bye. Alrighty. All right. So we've got one more person in the Discord. So that'll only put us up to 5. So we're looking for 3 more people at least. If you're after
who are interested in giving a starter pack to a friend.
Yeah. Otherwise, we'll just have to put them in the bank and maybe we'll push them towards Christmas time. But yeah, we'll see. Yep. Yeah, if you're looking, especially if you're a new player, Daily Noob, if you're still here, man. Any new players that you're aware of that have dropped by your stream, let us know. So yeah.
Or any people who are lurkers who don't play. It's probably more accurate because we don't need new players. But yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, anyone that's in the stream that I find that very weird that someone would be watching our channel that is a completely new backer because we tend to cater more to seasoned players, don't we, Algared, on this channel?
Yeah, but then I think the things like Fix My Fleet do appeal to people because they get to see what do you need, how are you going, So, but yeah, so. John Paul Boyle, thank you for your $10 coffee donation. He says, I had the idea of having people do something for some people.
That was
come in and ask their questions would be an awesome idea.
That was our original concept. That's what we wanted to do. We wanted to interact with you guys directly, but for some reason it just didn't pan out. I don't know. Yeah, but we'll go back to it. We'll try it again. Why not? Sounds awesome. So
we're happy to try everything.
Yeah, right now. So if you want to ask a question, jump in with Asher is there and just tell him you want to ask a question. We'll even do it today. We'll do it right now.
Yep.
So you want to ask it? You want to ask your question in audio format? Jump on into the waiting room and tell Asher that you just want to ask a question, and he'll message me through and tell me. Nobody I know, Daily Noob says. So yeah, well, maybe we're all out of new backers. The game's over. We've taken our fill. There's no more. But yeah. All right, well, long. I don't know. Me and Al will work it out. If they don't all pan out today, maybe we'll give them out in subsequent streams, or we'll hold them off to Christmas and do this again.
We'll work something out. That's right.
Definitely. All right, next question, Algared.
Zera's had a question earlier about cargo refactor. When do we think it'll come? Now that we've got pairs.
I've got an episode coming on the weekend that I filmed with Space Demo just on this subject. But yeah,
there you go.
with the Hull C. Long story short.
Yep, I would say Hull C at least 2.0, you know. But I think that's only going to be, it's only the first step. In my opinion, you know. But watch the video when it comes out on the website.
I will, hang on, give me a second, Algared. I'll even give him a bit of a
teaser.
A sneaky peeky. If I open this with, hold on. With this, and then I can do this, hold on. Alright, so there's the thumbnail for this weekend. That's what you'll be looking for.
Look forward to that show.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, hit the bell when you do, and that would be awesome. Because that is the way you help us the most. Like, subscribe, and hitting that bell.
Cool.
And we know, unfortunately, we know that despite the fact that we get lots of views, we know that 50% of you at least are not subscribed. So if you like us and you want to help us, we love it when you give us super chats. We love it when you give us Patreon. We love it when you do the other things and do membership, but you don't need to. What we'd really love you to do to really help us, like, subscribe, and hit that bell.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to the questions. Monster AV, have you heard?
Oh, we lost you there for a second.
Have heard.
Right, restart. Just go again. Ask it again, please.
That time. So Monster AV asks or says, have heard people getting Evocati invites. Any idea if it's legit? And then he goes on and says, if he recalls, I'm an Evocati. How does it work? So yes, I am Evocati. Evocati is basically access to the earliest of patches. They are the buggiest of buggy. And the idea is you're going in and you're testing the gameplay, and CIG will say, hey, we want you to test this aspect, and we go in and play and test it, and then give feedback and identify any bugs or whatever we find. The way you get invited to be a Evocati is by is when they need, if they decide they need more testers, they will pull people in. And generally the way you become an Evocati is you go into the PTU or gameplay and you put in bug reports. So you go into the issues council and you submit your bug reports, and the more you do, the better you are, and eventually you might get an invite. But yeah, it's whether they're legit, I can't say. But when CIG need more Evocati, they go down and they just pull people out of that list to do who put in bug reports and also confirm or deny bug, and do that issue council work. So that's about all I can tell you on that. So yeah, and I know you're not an Evocati, are you, X?
No, I kind of didn't want to be because I didn't like how they, especially with the leak stuff. I was more interested in reporting on leaks and stuff like that because that's just how it was. And I had a real issue back in the day. I did shit tons of bug reports, like heaps, and I got nothing for it because it turns out they had, back in the day, they had like the website, then they had this kind of fake copy website, and I was doing all the report. I didn't think it mattered which one you did it on, and I was just doing it on one, and it turns out that was not the real one, so it just didn't count. So I'd wasted all my time. They never told anyone that. They could still collect the data, which I'm sure they were doing, but they weren't crediting.
And the other thing is, the Evocati do sign an NDA.
Yep.
And so that anything that's in Evoc may not even make it up.
You are really breaking up a lot, just so you're aware, buddy. It's way worse than it is normally.
I just did notice that.
Yeah, it's all good. You're all right. We'll live with it.
It's that time of day. Yeah,
it is.
Evocati are under NDA. And so there were times when we used to do some of the more stuff based on leaks. I would say, look, I'm not going to endanger my, my position as a Cardi and break NDA. And there are other times, but once it goes to PU, then it becomes more open. So people will often say, will we see Squadron 42 go to Evercardi? I hope not, because Evercardi, I believe, leaks like a sieve. So, yeah. So anyway, Zerev has a question.
Yeah, please.
Zerev says, the cutter, it reminded me of a Fifth Element. Yes, it does. And all the flying taxis. I would love a different manufacturers to make a starter ship like the cutter. Can it happen? Which manufacturers? Yes, it can. Depends on CIG. Any manufacturer that doesn't have a starter ship, or any manufacturer could do it. But yeah, the ship's awesome. It does tick all those Fifth Element buttons for me as well. So, what do you think?
Yeah, it does. I actually really do want to see that taxiing game, and it believe it or not, remember when we talked about a boarding version of the cutter that's probably got a couple of seats? Couldn't that also be a taxi and a boarding craft in one?
Well, if you have a taxi, it's effectively a boarding craft.
Well, it makes it a school bus too, doesn't it? At the same time.
Yeah, I can see people who are bus drivers really loving that idea.
Yeah, so I'd love to see it as a boarding / very small troop transporter. You got all the living quarters, or maybe the toilet's the only thing you leave in. So you remove all the beds, and it's literally just seats. So maybe 6 people or more. Actually, maybe you leave the food facilities in, and it can go further. And just remove the bed.
I would love to see transport ships, and you think about a boarding craft, basically a taxi. It's a ship that can a ship that's taking people to a 890 jump to and latching onto the docking port. That's effectively going to be a boarding vehicle. From criminals. So it works both ways. You don't necessarily always have to have your, you lock on, you open your side, you hack the terminal on the other side, you go through, bang. So I can see it working both ways. But yeah, I'd love to see more of those small taxis or buses or transport ships or.
Oh, you're right, mate. Oh. Yeah, there is a little image over. Hang on, let's see if I can find it. There was one I found during the week. Bear with me. I was going to use it for a thumbnail, but I can always still use it for a thumbnail. But if I do this again, open with, and then yeah, someone's taken that skin and just put the word taxi on it. Kind of fits it, yeah. Reminds me of a New York yellow cab. So yeah.
Yep. It does have that. Or the yellow bus. I used to watch The Simpsons and see the school bus and think, there's no way they still have those. And I went to the States and they still have those. It is
You back?
It is that internet blurry it seems.
All right, I'll move on because you're breaking up a little bit, man.
Looks like.
Yep. I'll move on. All right, here we go. All right, next question. From Dom Dawson says, "Are you attending CitizenCon?" I thought about it a lot. Algared thought about it a lot. I don't think we will, unless someone comes out and gives me a really good reason to go. Yeah, I just don't think it's worth it. It costs, like, you got to realize, like, if I open a map, actually, I'm happy to do that if you guys want to have a look real quick. Let me go Google Maps. It's a long way for Algared to travel. It instantly costs me about $300 to $400 more than Algared straight away, because of where I live. So if we go to Google Maps, Right, so this is where I live, right? And I live in Tasmania, which is at the arse end of Australia. Now, if you zoom all the way out, which I kind of can't do, I am literally as far. So there's Antarctica. Sorry? No, I'm going both ways. Like, I'm looking all the way over at Frankfurt and Manchester, and then I go the other way. And I am literally as far from... I think the only other place to be right on the South Island of New Zealand. I'm as far from a CIG studio as you could possibly be. In fact, I would almost argue that England is closer to LA. Yep, it would be. So their studios are closer to each other than I am to them. So yeah, it's quite a far way to trip. It's a 26-hour flight actually, just to get there. 26 hours. It takes that long to cross that distance. And it is essentially for 1 or 2 days. And the other part of it is, I could go for longer and visit people, but if I'm going to, say, Manchester, it's a lot more condensed, so I can actually visit people in England in quite a small space. If I was going here, most of the people I want to visit are on this side of the States, so it's going to be quite the expensive proposition, to put it mildly. I've never been to the United States before, so I kind of going by word of mouth and stuff like that, but it's I don't know. Do you guys want us to go? We've done a poll before, and people said no, stay in Australia. They literally put that as the option. No, stay in Australia, and that's what people said. So,
but
I don't know.
You know, our thought process at the moment is, you know, if we can go to one, we want to go to the big one. We don't think this is the big one.
Yeah, we're pretty sure this is not the big one. We think the next one's the big one. So, and again, our betting money is that it's in Manchester. So. Which makes a lot of sense if you do the speculation through, and I think that's exactly where it's going to be. So when Squadron 42 will be done, and it'll be in Manchester, so all the employees can enjoy it. There probably might not be as many people there either, because people are going to want to be at home playing the game. So maybe it's a better one to go to. I don't know. So yeah.
Yeah, so that's our guess. So do we still think that there'll be a vertical slice, or a day looking at Squadron and a day looking at PU? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But if we're talking the one that we want to go to, we want to go. You know, I personally want to go to the Launcher Squadron.
I'll put it this way: tickets come out on, what is it, the 28th, Algared? If someone can convince me to not go on my holiday, which I would have to cancel, which means I'd lose half of what I think I'd lose like $500 on it, right? So if you can convince me to lose $500 on my holiday, not go on my holiday, and give me an absolutely gold reason why I want to spend 5 times as much money to go to San Francisco LA for 2 days essentially, all for it. Like, unless you're just going to go, here, take my money. That's probably the only other way. But I again, it feels like to me, like, why would you want me there over yourself? You know, like, what possible tangible benefit can me and Algared, and what I stress this is in person, can me and Algared provide over anyone else that we can't do from home?
Yep.
Right? So, yeah, I think the only other way it would be is, like, say I went on my own Algared and I was feeding stuff to you from the floor. That would probably be the biggest benefit. It would be actually better if one of us was there and one of us wasn't, so we could do that back and forward personally. Because if we were both there, we'd both want to do things, wouldn't we? So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I've just convinced me, but I don't think you'd be able to convince me, honestly.
I think the only way you could actually convince X to go this year would be that you basically make sure he doesn't lose money on his trip if he has to cancel his trip. And you know, we don't think this one is the one that we should go to.
Yeah.
We've thought about it a few times, and I certainly want to go to the Launcher Squadron. I don't think this is a Launcher Squadron.
No.
You know, and everything
we've said that a few times, haven't we? We only like, we're happy to go to others, but we definitely want to be what we've called the big one. But yeah,
and it's looking at if I can only go to one. And due to the cost and time, and for me, the way that CitizenCon generally falls is middle of term.
So let's just to show people Algared real quick. So I live in this little. That's not little. There's 4 cities here. This is the capital city of Tassie. I live in Launceston here, down this river. I've actually got. There's a plane directly from here that I can catch that goes up to near where Algared lives. Algared lives in Sydney, so this is the biggest city in Australia. And I would then hook up with Algared there, and then we would fly directly out from Sydney.
And then from Sydney to LA, it's about a 17-hour trip.
17. Oh, so I was 26. I've been lied to.
No, that's UK.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Sydney to LA is only about 16, 17 hours.
All right, so cool. There you go. I hope that kind of explains the situation to people. So yeah, but I've never been. I don't know. You guys can tell me in the comment in chat. We've been told LA is not the best holiday destination, and Algared, you can probably speak to that better than me because I've never been. But I've just been told it's not the best place to visit. It's kind of expensive too. Where put it this way, my whole trip to where I'm going in the Philippines, and I'm going to be there for a month, by the way, is cheaper than the flights just to LA.
Yeah,
that blows my mind. So I could stay there for a month as opposed to just going there and coming back. Crazy.
I have been to Indonesia and Bali for language courses.
Same.
And during the break, my airfare to Bali cost as much as an airfare to the US. But living for the 2 weeks in Bali that I'm there when I do the language courses, it's like, man, I went to my friends and we went to the movies in Bali.
Yeah.
8 of us went. We caught an Uber to the theater. We bought 8 movie tickets. We went to a restaurant afterwards.
Yeah.
It cost a total of about 150 Australian dollars.
Oh, wow. So cheap.
And that was for basically all of us.
Yeah.
It was like insane. I go to the States and the airfares, are cheap, but the costs are significantly more.
I will tell you something interesting I found out for our American viewers. If you ever do travel to places in Asia, it actually works out better to convert your money from American to Australian than from Australian to those currencies, because they are generally worth about the same. But going from American to Australian, you essentially double your money. So then by going from American to Australian, you're doubling the money that it's... Because at the moment, basically the US dollar is worth roughly the same as the Australian dollar, but in the Philippines, right? As an example. So I'm realizing that, because we get money through PayPal or whatever, is I'm better off to use my US money in one place than the other. And I'm better off to take the US dollar and convert to Australian and stuff like that. It's really interesting because it goes further, and then just taking my own money and putting it back into the Patreon stuff. So yeah, it's really interesting how that all works out. Anyway, Algared, you back? Nope. All right, you're not visually, but that's all right.
I will say that not quite true. Like if you're looking at Indonesian, the Australian dollar to the Indonesian dollar is about 9,500 to 10,000. Usually it's $1 to 10,000 Indonesian rupiah. American dollar to Indonesian rupiah.
It's so long story short, Algared, it's definitely the case with the Filipino dollar. I've looked into it extensively. So yeah. All right, so next question.
Go by case. By case. Is definitely the thing you want to do. Let me just get that video back up. There it is. Now I should be back.
Yep, you're back. I can see.
Next question. Is the glass sword. Do you think Consolidated Outland should be folded into another manufacturer, since they don't seem to have an extensive design language or join with? No, they'll just make more ships.
Yeah, they just haven't got there yet. That's all it is. They're essentially SpaceX Tesla of Star Citizen. And I actually like them as a manufacturer. I really do.
And this is where we disagree. I was going to say, do I think that Elon Musk of Star Citizen should have his company folded and disbanded? Yes. But is it good for the Star Citizen? No. We'll just give him more ships.
Just watching the Algared sharpen his execution axe.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. No axe to grind there at all.
Now execute. You got to remember that Elon, that Silas Kroner fella. He's a competitor to all things Hurston. So So yeah, so that's I've got my bias, but I always disliked Consolidated Outland because especially when they launched the Mustang, they talked about it using the same container link that the Aurora used. So they just took RSI's link and they were using that. They were happy to steal or use other stuff and just chuck it together and then say, oh yeah, we've done something new. So I never really liked them. But that's the beauty of Star Citizen. There are things that people will like and things people will hate. So yeah. Prime has a question. He says my original question.
Sorry, real quick. I'm going to cut this one in. Sorry to be rude, but first time chatter, Winters Green Snap. Might even put Daily Noob on this one if you're listening, Daily Noob. First time chatter on Twitch there says, anyone know how to fix an issue where the game crashes immediately after EAC loads? I never even get to see the main menu anymore. I'm assuming that's easy anti-cheat and it's probably corrupted. You need to uninstall it and reinstall it. That's usually the fix for that one. But Daily Noob, if you're in chat, can you help Wintergreen Snap out, please? Because I think that's in your area of expertise. Right, sorry, I got next question.
Yep. So next question from Prime, and it looks like one we answered. It was, what ship would you keep in game? I meant in game right now, as in right now, not future spec wishes, i.e. current perfect ship.
What would I keep in game right now?
So what would we keep in game, i.e. the perfect shipping game at the moment?
Redeemer.
I'd probably go a Connie.
Perfect with the struts?
It gives me a snub ship, it gives me a rover, it gives me cargo space, it gives me missiles, it gives me pilot control guns, it gives me turrets for multi-gameplay.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So I'm kind of trying to think the options I get for gameplay, but if I'm after just a solid combat ship, it'd go for Redeemer.
Yeah.
But then I suppose if you're looking for a salvage ship, neither of those.
Personal preference, isn't it?
You'd go Reclaimer, or you'd go, if you're after a group way, or so it does come down to that again, as we said before, a bit more. What are you trying to do in game? So, so yeah. Midgards. What chance of getting a loose ship?
Sorry, interrupting again. Shinobi Trip says, what happened to a friend of mine? EAC was tripped by the Logitech control software. So check that you've got if you've got any Logitech control software, Wintergreen. So yeah, there are. I've also heard it sometimes get tripped by virus scanners as well. So yeah, I'll look into that. All right, sorry, Algared. Sorry to interrupt you twice.
Yep, no, that's okay. Midgard has a question. He says, what are the chances of ever getting the Zeus ship? I need this ship in my life.
I think you'll get it eventually.
Silas Krona has one because he has every ship, including a crated red crab ship from the original.
I think you'll definitely get things like that. I think you'll even get things from back now eventually. It's just a priority order. Yeah. And giving us a really old ship is not a high priority. It's so far away, it's ridiculous. They'll almost do anything else before they do that. But eventually,
I could even see them doing these you find the old hull and you've got to restore it, or you've got you find it, you go on a search and you find the bits and pieces.
Put all the pieces together. Yeah. Old Man Hurston. Old Man Hurston's penny farthing. Yeah.
I know that Disco's keen for that type of thing, for jalopy. Finding the bits of a ship and then salvaging them, putting them together, going to a spear and buying, and getting a part made because you can't make it, so you've got to get it specially made by them because they specialize in remaking or doing stuff, So I could clearly see that being down the track, and I'd love to see them do that. But like you said, it's not a priority. There's higher hanging fruit, but there's bigger things that need to be done before we get that type of stuff. But I look forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Yep. One more question, and then we'll go to another cutter giveaway. All right.
Yep. Okay, we got 4, so we're going to need to work out who came in.
I already got that sorted. Way ahead of you.
Awesome. Just checking. So Craig Hiller says, "Hey peeps, I have a friend who is interested in winning a starter pack. What do they need to do to enter?" Oh, well, it's basically you needed to turn up, In fact, you could have even requested for them. But I think we may be out of numbers unless we get people in the community to say, hey, we'll do a starter pack for them. So, yeah. But go to the waiting room, state your case, see what we can turn up with, and maybe something will turn up.
Okay. Take one more question for me, Aaron. I'm just doing something in the background.
Why you sort something up in the background? Yep.
Please.
So the Glass Sword says, we have light and heavy salvage. Which company should make a medium salvage? Argo, RSI, Drake, Consolidated Outland, others?
I would say the three contenders would be MISC, because it's industrial mode. So MISC, Argo, and Consolidated Outland.
I would never say Argo for salvage because of what they do. They are more stevedored.
By that note, though, they wouldn't have done the mole.
And they shouldn't have done the mole. I would normally go Drake because Drake's background is that, but they've already got the vulture. Consolidated Outland do a bit of everything, so I could see them doing that. RSI do a bit of everything, I could see them doing that. I could see.
We could also kind of lean it into military as well. You could even see an Anvil one if you think about it. There's room there for two too as well. So yeah, you're right. Keep going.
Recovery that falls into salvage, so you could do that. Consolidated Outlet, I could see Crusader because they're heavy in industry. I could see MISC because they take your pick of a company that you want in that case. Like even Argo, I would say not Argo because they're stevedored, but their origin comes from repairing and maintaining.
You are breaking up like crazy, just so you're aware. But it's all good. All right. I think we'll get some. You're breaking up really badly, Algared, so just so you're aware. My bad. But all right, we're gonna drag Grasshopper in. So here we go.
Company.
All right, Grasshopper, how you doing, man? You there, buddy? Grasshopper.
What's up?
How you doing, man?
What's up?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Getting there. Slowly waking up. Slowly but surely. Starter pack for yourself, for a friend. What's the go?
It's for me. I've got a friend that plays, and he's been wanting me to play for a long time. And he mentioned that you guys were giving away starter packs, so
yep. And so why can't you get you one for you? Why can't you get yourself one? Why do you want us to give you one?
I mean, I can. I mean, I can.
You can. Oh, one of those two. You just don't want to.
Yeah. I mean, if you could get something for free, wouldn't you get it for free?
Yeah, we are, but we are trying to give it to people that are deserving. You don't sound too deserving.
Okay.
So convince us. Yeah.
To convince you. Well, my friend didn't say anything about that.
Oh well, yeah, he should have done because we're trying to give it to people that are that can't get it themselves or struggling or something like that. So yeah.
Well, do you want to save it for someone else?
Well, it's up to you, man. Unless you can convince us. So will you tell us then why haven't you wanted to buy in then? So what's your doubts?
It's because I don't have a lot of money.
Okay,
honestly.
Well, that's a problem. That is, you are deserving then in that case. Then, so you just don't have. That's what it is. That's what the type of thing we want to hear. So you just don't.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
It's not doubts. It's just literally your. Well, I guess it is a doubt. It's like, is this worth my money? Is that what you're essentially saying?
Well, I mean, I have important stuff to spend my money on, and then I only get a small amount for games.
Yep.
And
are you working at the moment, or are you unemployed?
No.
Or so yeah.
I'm
what's
not
your
employed.
So what's your area of expertise?
I'm a step above unemployed. I'm a guitarist.
Oh, a guitarist. Oh, struggling artist. Oh, I've heard this one before. Yes.
Well, I can't play guitar anymore because I didn't really want to talk about it, but I got severe injury in my hands.
Yep. That's all you need to say, man. That's totally fine. I have similar issues that restrict me from doing things as well, so you don't have to say anymore. Algared, I'm pretty cool with that. Are you cool with that? That's exactly the type of person we're looking for. Yeah.
Some of our chat are saying he's being cheap. No.
No.
And I've got to admit, there is an element where it did sound like you were. I don't want to do it because hey, if I can get it for free, I'll get it for free.
No, you are. Your friend has put the right. Just to let your friend know, he didn't set you up. He has put the right type of person forward. You are the type of person we are trying to help. Absolutely.
Yeah, I just didn't really want to announce that into a room full of strangers live on the internet straight away.
It's
It
fine.
got out of me, but yeah.
No, it's fine. Again, you got an anonymous name. People not going to know you by your real name, so it's fine. You'll be totally fine. Hey, at least your face is not on camera. You know, like me. So
Yeah, that's very true.
But that's how it is. All right, man. Will you shoot your details off to Algared, and he'll kind of help you get an account, or your friend can help you account, and we'll get you sorted out. So just make sure you got your email and your account set up, and yeah, we'll help you out that for sure.
All right, cool.
And I think Algared, do you reckon we want to chuck him into an Avenger? I've got no problem with that at all.
I'm you know me. I'm more keep them in the starter pack. I'm
going to go the other way because I am one of those people that has been unemployed, and I'm in that type of same situation as you, man. So I definitely know what it's like that struggle. So I'm definitely going to give you the extra $20 to get to an Avenger, right?
I'll be honest.
Oh my God, thank you.
If we're talking the Aurora to an Avenger, I would never have a problem with it because. Just because I think that interior ability to walk around the chip and all that.
We'll just turn around and say, try the cutter before you apply the upgrade. There you go. And when you've got the game and you're in the game, if you find you prefer the cutter, just don't apply the upgrade. You can melt the upgrade and you can turn it into whatever you want, some skins or whatever for yourself. So once you've got in contact with Algared will give you, will pass your email on to me, and I will forward you an upgrade from that to the Titan or the Stalker, whatever your preference.
Awesome, thanks so much.
No worries, mate. You have good fun with your mate, and maybe I'll come and hang out with you and your mate one time, and we'll have a go. All right, you take care.
That'd be fun. Have a nice stream.
Yeah, you too, man. Take care, Grasshopper. Bye.
Bye.
Alrighty then. Yeah, that's exactly the type of person that we're hoping to help. Someone that just it's. I know it's a bit embarrassing to ask, but you should not be ashamed that you're asking for help. It actually takes a very strong person to actually ask for help, in my opinion.
Well, I got to admit it. The original idea was your friend requests on your behalf, so you're not having to put yourself in a situation.
Yeah, so your friend should have got on here. That's who you blame, Grasshopper. Blame your friend. Say it was you that went to get on there and help me out.
You should have gone there.
Because it takes away a bit of that embarrassment. Some people do have a lot of pride, and I do actually totally understand that. But I've just found in life, it is a lot harder to ask for help. And if anyone's asking me for help, I go out of my way to help them, because it does, especially with men. Men are very prideful. And it's something us as men, I think we really do need to work on. It's hard though, because women will punish you if you ask for help. Holy shit!
In YouTube,
ask another man for help. Ask another man for help if you need help. There, I'll put it that way.
Ben Del Marodi is saying he's blaming me plenty now. Don't worry about it. Yes, Ben Del, yes, you should have been the one who was in chat saying,
yes,
I've got a friend. He's a struggling muso. I've been hassling him to get in the game. He can't afford it. I think he's deserving. So yes, it's you. No, we don't have an ox we can give away by any chance, JC Castle.
No.
The key thing we're after to give away is starter packs for people who don't have the game. So actually, the goal is to get people into the game.
And even better if they really can't get it into themselves. We want to help people that are struggling and it is hard times. And it was always we always saw it as people that are less fortunate, but like it's not always the case, right? But someone like that just is on a bit of hard times, like him, they're the people that because I've been there, right? And it sucks, man. And it is really hard to ask for help. So if someone is asking, you've got a friend that that they can't ask for help, they're the people we want to get into the game, I'm gonna be honest with you, people like that said earlier, like people that are skeptical, that can pay for themselves, then they're secondary to what we're looking for. We're trying to help people that just can't help themselves. They're the people we want to get in.
You know, the other type of people we're really keen to see get into a game. If you've got a friend
bit of a pick me up, pick me up for those people
who doesn't have a game but is struggling just socially or just life has got them down. When we first started this, it was the impact of COVID and what COVID had done and breaking down things. And we thought, hey, if we can get your friends in, if they're struggling, then it's a bonus.
I'm absolutely, because it's been a couple of years, the F7A upgrade giveaway, I've forgotten the gentleman's name, but he passed away. And so a guy wanted to give away his friends up, like essentially give away his Hornet and his F7A to his friend, and I'm just totally brain farting on the name because it's been a couple of years, but and so we decided to do that, but we really pushed the story forward to let people know, this guy had he was a veteran, and he basically got home and was in a car crash and was gone, after like 2 or 3 tours of helping out his country and all that, and he was gone. And that to me was an important story to tell, and so that was something I wanted to get behind. And it's the same thing, like, so it became, and then we started other stories coming out, like people that had
Jaden,
that's what it was, Jaden. And then we'd heard of people that had, there was a lot of guys that had committed suicide through the military stuff, and that it led me down this whole path of meeting a lot of military people and learning their story and stuff like that. And I've learned so much now about this other side of the military, like when you come out of it on the other side and stuff like that. So it's definitely it changed my whole perspective on, because I always thought military people were just like the coolest, hardest people, but they're human. And so that's like a lot of people, it's a mask or an exterior, something put forward. And I've got a lot of concern now for people that come out of the military that they're not getting the support they require. But
and it tied in with in Australia we have Are You OK Day. I don't know if other people do it, but it's looking at mental health and I know from watching Viva Dirt League that they also have that concern in New Zealand about mental health and trying to get people talking about the issues and concerns and worries.
Paul went into his stuff too with Stack Up as well and other charities like that as well. So it's a good way to give back anyway, isn't it? So
and so that was part of our idea of we wanted to be able to help people in that gate. So if you had a friend who, the original idea, if you had a friend who was struggling or who would benefit or would, give them that pickup.
And it was just, but it was kind of hard to kind of validate if these people were real. And that's the worst part about this. Like you don't, like he came on there and he didn't really want to talk about his issues, right? And I don't blame him. Like you don't always want to publicly air your stuff. But how do we check that it's real? That's the problem.
And there's always a risk. We give 8 game packs away. Yeah, we could be sharp. We could be led down the garden path by every person.
And that's why we put the friend in place, because then it's got a little, like, someone that needs the help, so put them forward. So that's what we were looking at, but then we realized people could, if we did it without doing it on voice, because it's very hard to lie someone to their face, especially in a public forum. But if you just put it, in text, go, I've got this friend, you could be totally lying. So we didn't want to give people the opportunity to take advantage of the system. And it became very hard. And I can see now, like, having gone down that path, trying to work it out, I can see why a lot of people don't do it. Because there's a lot of room for scam. And unfortunately, I know eventually, like Algared said, it is only a $45 starter pack, but when they're not ours as well, it makes it we've got to have a little bit of responsibility. So anyway, but let's remove that negativity part of it. I do want to do more good for people. So if you find someone that's in that situation, try and, they're the people we want to see. So
my hope would be, as a result of CIG giving the Z's to give away for people, and the fact that we did it last year, that my hope would be it would encourage you guys to buy starter packs to give to your friends in that situation.
Absolutely. That doesn't have to be through us. Anyone Just give back.
You know, just
you'll be surprised how good it makes you feel too. Believe it or not, it actually does make you feel really good to help other people.
The old pay it forward type thing. If something good's happened to you, pay it forward. And one way to pay it forward in terms of Star Citizen is to buy a friend a starter pack, get them into the game. You know, like.
All right then.
You know, so yeah.
Next question.
Anyway, moving on. What games do you play outside of Star Citizen?
By
would you ever make
Space
content
Tech.
about it? By Space Tech.
If I had more energy to do more than this channel, yeah, absolutely. But this channel is, I have a sleep condition, so we'll look at Algared. You've got a full-time job as well as this, Algared, yeah. So, a lot of us just don't have the time. I don't have the energy, to be honest with you. I struggle to do content for this channel as it is. So.
Yep. The last couple of weeks while I was crook with COVID and not being able to really think very well, I was playing Occupy Mars because I didn't have to think much. I could just sit there and veg and just do stuff over time. But yeah, but I like space games. I've played the medieval games, Lotro. But yeah, I'll try anything.
So recently I've been playing Dark Tide, and I tried out some Silica, tried out some Starship Troopers, tried out some Jedi Survivor. There's a lot of, I even streamed Jedi Survivor, even though I was only probably, you know, streaming to 5 people at the time. I don't mind. And that's all on my Twitch channel. You can go watch the VODs if you want. But yeah, I play a lot of other games, and I also test out games that I think will dovetail into Star Citizen. So I play a lot of Hunt Showdown, because that was the engine for Star Citizen, and that's how I discovered that game. But I also look into games that I think that can show us things about Star Citizen, and even from a social perspective. So to give an example, Ark, playing as a tribe in Ark, Survival Evolved, is very similar to working as a crew on a ship, and you can see who would work well with people, and very quickly weed out who the bad people are that don't want to do the hard work. They just want to be there for the fun stuff and stuff like that. And, you know, Satisfactory, you can see the logistics. There's a really cool game called Eco that is a very, it's kind of like, how do I explain this? It's got some very similar things to Star Citizen. I'll leave it at that.
My frustration with Ego is it's kind of like the graphics look like almost Minecraft. And I hate the look of the style.
But the gameplay is awesome. Badgers even plays it.
Good.
Yeah,
the gameplay is good. But...
So anyway, there's just a few different games you can try. I've had a lot of people pressure me to go check out Diablo 4. I'm really worried about their monetization coming up. They have 3 different tiers of battle pass, which I think is pure insanity. It should be 1. That's it. No, none of this 3-tier shit. That is a cry for money, if I've ever seen it. And I have a lot of friends that worked in Blizzard back in the day. They don't work there anymore. Blizzard is no longer Blizzard. Look at Diablo 3. That was enough to tell me that I shouldn't get Diablo 4. You know, they you know, Overwatch is gone. Even the people that worked on Overwatch, like Jeff Kaplan, he's left, and once the CEO left, I knew it was the beginning of the end. And so many reports were coming out that they were just stripping all the perks and benefits of working at Blizzard and turning it back into, you know, because business people come in and they just want to do everything by the numbers. They don't realize that if you take care of people, they will take care of you and do a better job. But they don't see it that way, so they always just strip everything out, all the perks get removed, and it just becomes plain and vanilla, and you get all this crunch that turns in and all that stuff, and I've just got no interest in a game company like that. You want to have, if people are about passion before profit, you got to take care of them so they can be in that nice artistic flow, right? And this is an art form. That is what it is, and if you make it all about the Benjamins, it's pointless. So, yeah. All right. Next question.
I would say people often talk about Star Citizen, and one of the people who is really valuable for Star Citizen is actually Sandy. Sandy really took that view of looking after the backers, And so early on, a lot of the stuff in terms of that customer interaction or that interaction with the backer base was Sandy just pushing to make sure that the backers are being cared for.
And Chelsea and I forgot the other lady's name, but they were back in the day. They were chef's kiss. This is back when there was just 2 of them doing customer support. Now they've got this huge ass team. I think the guy that I turn to a lot now is a guy called Big Toe at CIG. He's been a good guy to talk to for me, but yeah.
You know, so but that was part of Sandy's big goal, was to really build that customer service and make backers feel cared for and listened to and taken care of. As the company grows, can you maintain that? Probably not, but that's always the goal. But yeah. Anyway.
Well, that's why we've been able to foster relationships, though, because we've been there since the beginning, and we still know all the people because we've been here that long. Even though we're not, we haven't gone to the heights of people that come like Morph and Board and all the other big channels. We've still been able to hold on to those relationships because we were here that long. So, and I'm sure there are other backers. There's probably even people just listening to us right now that have relationships. They've met people from CIG and they've just kept up those relationships because they were there in the beginning. So yeah.
I saw someone asking whether being a volunteer at a sitcon would be worth it. Now,
absolutely.
I can't comment on whether CitizenCon is worth it. I can comment on having been a volunteer at PAX Australia, and it was a hoot.
Yep.
The volunteer team who was at PAX Australia, I still have contact with some of them.
Yep. I think your payment for that is you get a bit of backdoor access, and you probably get to talk to a few of the devs a bit on one-on-one as well. Usually, you usually get to hang out with some of them, and you'll get a thank you usually from Chris or Sandy or Aaron or whoever's around, and you'll probably get some signed merch or something like that. There are some perks to it. You get paid, but it's not in currency. It's in stuff that you can't buy. That's probably what I'd be saying. So yeah.
Oh, look, I think the for me the big perk was, I would say I developed a friendship with Sandy. That would be. That would be the bonus, just spending time talking to them, and then over time doing that type of stuff, you do develop a relationship, and
absolutely,
and that for me was the biggest perk, and just being able to see the other side for me was seeing Chris and Sandy engage with each other and with people, but being able to watch them from behind the scenes and see the way they treat each other and the way they were treating family and the way they were treating people behind the scenes was no different than what you saw on stage or when they were in public.
All right, we can't talk about Diablo anymore. People are saying that they're now getting Diablo ads on Twitch because we talked about it. All right.
There you go.
All right, next question, Algared.
Tom Van Doren says, I have a legacy starter pack, including Squadron 42, but only 6-month insurance. Can I change it to an LTI token?
No, and I wouldn't. No. Because you'll lose the legacy. The legacy alone makes it worth it. Just buy another LTI token and go up from there.
If by chance you see a CCU that
adds LTI, that's only happened once though, and they're really expensive now. Yeah. So I would say it's just cheaper to buy a second LTI token at this point.
It is definitely cheaper to buy a second LTI token, but if you ever see an LTI token to a ship that offers LTI with that ship, then pick it up, and that's how you do it. But other than that, no.
Only ever been offered once, probably never going to happen again. But Algared's saying if it does. He's right if it happens again, but it's as Algared will always do, he's offering the most niche thing that is probably never going to happen again.
It's a possibility, unlikely, but possible.
Yes. Never say never.
I can only think of the Apollo was the god. There may have been one other ship, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
The Apollo's the only one that caught in my mind.
I think there was a Cutlass or something like that way, or maybe it was the Nomad, but it was ages ago. It was like 4 or 5 years ago now. So, and they are really rare. So
maybe once or twice it's happened. So that's how rare it is. Out of 160 odd ships or variants that they've done,
it was the Nomad. Yeah, cool. It was the Nomad. So back when that Nomad starter pack came out, had a War Bond upgrade CCU. There you go. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the Nomad. So yeah, that would have been
that sounds about right.
What, 3 or 4 years ago now. So yeah.
Yep. And it's only happened 140 or 160 odd ships, and it's happened once or twice. So that gives you an indication how rare that opportunity will be.
I think it's only the once, to be honest with you. I think it was
there you
just the Nomad and only ever the Nomad. But that's how much they wanted people to buy Nomads. They had to chuck all this extra shit at it to make it worth it. So that's tells you why one of the reasons why me and Algared don't like it, because they knew that it was going to be poorly received.
That's why we say it was shit.
Yeah.
Okay. X, since you missed the original Vandal site, will you buy one from a Spirit if it was made new to look and reworked?
No, Algared's giving me one. Aren't you, Algared? He's got two. He's going to give me one. Yeah. Yeah. Algared's giving me one. We're just going to ever pressure him. Just keep pressuring him.
I'll just keep.
He's going to give me one. It's totally fine. He's got two of them. He's going to give me one. It's fine. Don't worry. He'll give me one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll buy one off here. Don't worry.
The Steel should have got one too. Yes, the Steel probably should have got one too, because that may have encouraged people to get it, but it was such a rip-off.
Yeah.
It was a Steel.
Yeah. Whoever that thing has been priced on components, but like again, just strip the components out of it and go back to the functionality. It's just still not worth it.
The only thing that makes it totally different from any other Cutlass is the fact that they ripped out the guts and put seats in there.
It's essentially a Cutlass black and then got some extra guns on it, and that's it. And there's no way, like even with the components, like they say all the ships are priced on their component value. Fair enough, but at the end of the day, components are dirt cheap and easy to earn, so it doesn't make any sense. So I don't price ships based on their components, or I price them on what they do. And again, I actually put the Cutlass blue above the Steel. Right? It does more.
Any of the Cutlasses are above the Steel, because all the other Cutlasses have a bed, so you can actually log off in them.
Except for the components. See, if you bring the components back in, it is the top in the components the category. But with function, I would say it's basically between the Cutlass and the Cutlass Red, between the black and red. So
I even think in function it's below them. But
yeah, so it's like it's like $120, $125 ship at best. So yeah. Anyway, all right.
Just put really good components in your other ship, and you've got a better ship. But
that's it. That's it in a nutshell. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a piece of beep. Okay, Kaiser Solo 26 says, question, and not Baconi Taurus has a smuggling spot. So his question, Connie Taurus has a smuggling space in it. It's the cheapest one. It's also weird that the Corsair doesn't have one.
It's true. It would be cool for the Corsair to have one, but then it takes away from its role as an explorer. So I would argue maybe we're going to see a Drake ship that is tailored. There's a good one, the Cutlass Brown or something like that, or that makes a lot more sense to me all of a sudden.
Well, if I could see
than the Steel that should have been the Cutlass Silver at the very least. But yeah, anyway,
I could see grounds for a Corsair smuggling ship. Kind of a variant of it, just like you got the variants of the Connie. The Connie Taurus is a really good variant of the Connie. It's actually got the same. It's of the Connies. It's the closest to the Andromeda in terms of combat capabilities, because it's got its full missile complement. It's got both. It's got the top turret. It's got the pilot controlled guns. It loses the bottom turret, which gets 2 tractor beams, and it loses the P-52. But it's got a bigger cargo space, so it's the closest to the Andromeda. But it's also that back section where the P-52 is a shielded cargo space. So
could be really interesting to see the Corsair as a they changed the turret that's on the back to a tractor beam. I'm trying to think what else you'd do to it. But what else would you think you could do to the Corsair to make it tailored to more towards smuggling?
You'd certainly want to give it a shielded area.
Absolutely, you just make the whole back cargo. So maybe you lose like a third of the cargo space to give it a cloaking thing of some description, but it basically makes the whole back of the cargo.
Yep.
I wonder what else you could take. Is there something else you could take? Maybe you lose one of the living quarters for
Yep. Rip out a living quarter and turn it into a shielded.
Yeah, and then and that's because you're losing that back turret, so you need one less person essentially. So that but then also gives it a massive weakness because it's got no back coverage.
Yep.
So yeah, that's a tough one.
No different. That's no different from a Connie in many ways because of the way the Connie's guns are. You've got such a big.
Yeah, well, see, you'd want to probably get
section.
removed with the chin turret or something like that, but the problem is the chin turret can't reach around the back to put stuff in the back, so you still need a tractor beam at the back. Maybe it's some kind of weird thing where it yeah, okay, what about this? It gives you the tractor beam on the back at the top, but then all of a sudden that area where you go down underneath, it then gives them control of the turret on the bottom, which we were all hoping for.
They could do various things, but I could see a cause there with that type of ability. Given that Drake are supposedly suited more to the pirates, you'd expect them to have that kind of shielded area for cargo, so that if the cops come along and scan you, they don't necessarily pick it.
How would you feel about if they took all the missiles off the wings and gave us some extra cargo extensions on the wings? Almost like, just like, the nets that they used to tie cargo onto the tops of cars and stuff, but like it's got netted cargo that you can so it puts like a magnetic strip on the wing, and you can have external cargo, so it actually is like a cargo. Yeah, so it makes it into a gun running cargo ship.
A 32 crate, 32 SCU crate gets underslung on the one wing.
Yeah,
because
or two maybe. I don't know. You'd have to work it out, but it'd be interesting.
I could see something like that, but I could see CIG going no, because just the second you put a great big box underneath, you've now got a new ship, so you've now got to rebalance. A bit like the whole problem with the original idea of the Caterpillar being able to be take it with just one cargo pod or two or three or four. And they went, no, we can't do that because every version of that is a totally brand new ship. So they just said, no, 5 cargo pods, bang.
That's true. But again, if it's a variant, that's what they're doing. They're reworking it for a variant. So I don't know. It's an idea. I thought it would kind of look cool to have that giant wing flipping around with a cargo box attached to it, but maybe I'm dreaming.
Just shoot the wing off to get the cargo. Yeah,
that's it. So yeah, something a little different. I don't know. I was just trying to play into his smuggling Corsair variant. So yeah. All right, we're up to 3 hours. Do you want to do it? We got another person here, so just hang on.
Okay.
Yep. All right, so I'll drag this guy up. Hold on. This guy here. Hey, Mr. Sloth, are you there, sir? Yep.
Hello.
Hey, Sloth, how you doing, man? Good.
How are you?
Good. What? Is it for yourself or is it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, it's for me. One of my friends can't stop telling me about it and how great it is, and I was very keen to join until I jumped on and saw the price, and I was like, yeah, I don't really spend that much on a game because normally I have to pay for a bunch of bills. Because I was pretty excited to join and I want to get my partner to join as well, but yeah, because of the price I kind of got held back, but I'm really keen to join because I want to play with my friend.
Are you working at the moment, or what's your...
No, I am working, but I live in New Zealand and a lot of the stuff here costs a shit ton of money, so by the time you get your pay is gone to everything that you have to pay for.
Yeah, I understand. So, I've got many friends in New Zealand, being from Tasmania myself, so I can understand.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I ask what you do for a living, if you don't mind?
I design websites and applications.
Yep, I understand the margins on those too, so yep, I can speak to that.
And I'm trying to actually save up to get a ring to get engaged to my girlfriend. So that's one of the other reasons I'm not trying to spend too much on games at the moment.
Makes sense.
So yeah, when my friend, he actually messaged me this morning and told me about this.
Yep.
Again,
he should be here, not you.
It's all right. I mean, it's okay. I don't mind. And I was like, oh, I wonder if I can get my girlfriend on, but she's in the meeting and I don't think she would jump on. So
yep. I'm just thinking, hang on. So, Algared, I'll let you pick 2 cutters or upgrade it to a cutlass. You pick.
If I was doing this, I would say it's the 2 cutters.
Yep. All right, so what we're going to do, we are going to give you and your girlfriend one, okay? So,
that's awesome.
So you reach out to Algared and he'll get you all set up.
You're going to need to give me 2 usernames and 2 email addresses.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds great.
And
I
again,
think she'll
as
be
I've
pretty
said to everyone,
surprised.
and as I said to everyone, once they're done and they're gifted, if they're not collected in 2 weeks, I will cancel the gifting.
Yep.
Oh yeah, no, we'll definitely do it. Pretty keen on it.
All right. Well,
So,
you
yep,
and your
so-
girlfriend enjoyed that. And yeah, have a good time. And hopefully, that'll get you guys both in the game, and you have a good time together. Enjoy.
Yeah. Yep. Thank you so much.
No worries. Thank you for joining us. Anything else you want
good.
to say before I drop you off, or?
Oh no, I'm just excited to get started because I watched some gameplays and I'm just like, this is better than any other space game that I've looked at. So I'm kind of quite keen to do this after work.
Yep. Well,
I've said that for ages, so
yeah,
you know.
you want to save yourself some money. A lot of what we do here on this channel is to save money. So I went at it from the point that you're going at from. I didn't have a lot of money. So yeah, if you want to save some money but get some bigger ships, or upgrade that ship now that we've given you, yeah, that's the place to look. Look at the CCU guides. Is what I'd.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. Take
Awesome.
care, Sloth. Nice to meet you, and hope you have fun in the verse. Bye bye, for now.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Oh, that was
Unfortunately,
nice.
I can see that Tactical Beard is a Porth person because they say, I actually like the Nomad. You poor person.
Yeah,
that's all I'll say.
It's all
I know it's a Ute. I know it's a Ute.
is-
For any Australian and New Zealanders, really, it does appeal to them. But when I look at these... Go on.
I was going to say, I don't think it's a bad ship. I think it's bad value. That's where we come from. Well,
I look at it and I go, I look at the starter pack, and when I look at where they initially sold it, they sold it with a skin for 20,000, LTI for 20,000 UEC, the Squadron 42, and the second you start throwing everything in like that, and the fact that they also a CCU for it that gave LTI, that to me said they didn't even think it was a good ship because they were putting so much stuff to get people to pick it up. So, yeah, but that's and it's consolidated Outland, so it's already going against my hitting my prejudice button. Anyway, Ultimate Virtue says, question, I feel FOMO about buying a ship. Most people feel FOMO about buying ships. That's why CIG do it. Especially the limited pals.
Don't disagree with that at all. It's like one of the things you'll notice in normal retail, they're always having a sale. There's always a sale because it apparently subconsciously gets you to go to try to pressure you to buy. Oh, this price is only going to be for a limited time, so you need to buy right now. But the problem is you'll notice that some stores are always having a sale, so it's just become oversaturated, and we no longer give a shit.
It's like when they put something on sale for $49.99.
Yep. Well, CIG do it once.
Okay, yeah.
That's why CIG do it every 6 months, and that's because it kind of pressures you into this is limited. You need to buy it now, and that's why people do feel the FOMO. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Let's see if we can fast forward some of these. I'm not sure how many we've given Manual X, by the way.
We are up to, well, we gave one extra. Hang on. So that was number... Asher, can you just message me and tell me how many we've given away? Because we did give away an extra one. I think I've got 6 people on the list we've given. So there's 2 more to go, right? So that would, 2 less than 6. 1 extra would have been 7, then minus 2. So we're back to 5. We've given 5 away if I've counted. Wait. Shit. Oh, no, Asher will work it out. He's a smart man. He'll get back to me. You've given away 6. There we go. So we've got 2 more to go, and there's 2 more there on the list. Perfect. Cool. Thank you, Ash. Appreciate it.
And if it ends up being wrong, it's Asher's fault.
Yeah. Thanks for helping us. It's your fault. Slap. Yeah.
That's right. I'll throw you under the bus if it goes to poo.
No, he's all good. He's done well. Yep. All right. Next question, Algared. When you've finished coughing your guts out, sounds awful.
Dear me.
Yeah.
All right. The next question, when I find where we're up to.
Yep.
Is Ultimate Virtue says, I don't think they announced Squadron 42 release date at CitizenCon. They will delay anyway. I don't believe they are announcing Squadron. Oh, but well, they could announce a Squadron 42 release date at CitizenCon. I think they might give it a vertical slice, but I'm pretty confident.
I'm pretty confident.
Launch of.
It's not the launch
It's
of
not the
it.
launch.
I think it's a date. I think it's them saying that it's coming next year. I think that's also why there's 2 days. I also think Algared and I know some stuff in the background, and I'll leave it at that.
But I'm 100% confident it's not the launch of Squadron 42.
Me too.
I do think we might get a date. I do think we got 2 days, 1 day.
I think we'll get a trailer, Algared.
Yep. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a trailer.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, and I'm pretty confident in saying that the plan is that to do the main push and advertising from next year. That would be my guess. You know, so
yeah. I would say from what we have heard and know Algared, I think we could safely say that it'll be somewhere between, and this is a large gap, right? I would say from, and when I say, I'm going to talk mid-month, so I'd say mid-April to mid-October next year is where I would be placing my money.
I would say that's where they're planning. They're hoping.
Yeah.
But we could be totally full of it. We could be totally wrong.
Yep.
We could have been led down a garden path by people.
Take note. But like you're seeing more and more people talk about it now, where Algared and I've been talking about this for, I think the first time we started talking about this would have been easily a year ago now. Yep. But
yeah, well, even when, you know, we were saying when COVID hit, the plans were
delayed
at that point, and COVID delayed it by the amount of time COVID was. And strangely, it's working out pretty much close to what we'd heard. Add COVID on, and then you get to that date. And so, it to me, it just seems everything we heard back then, add COVID time on, and it falls to about now. So, again, we could be full of it, but everything seems to be panning out. So, yeah. All right. Black Cat 70 says, I see that Redeemer is back up for sale. I had a quick question for chat. Will there ever be a Warbond version of Redeemer again, or is it only on new ships?
Answer that for me. I'm replying to someone.
So Warbond CCUs are generally for cash. You'll always see Warbond ships available. The question is whether you'll see them with LTI. Ships with LTI are generally the concept ships. So you can get LTI in ships either when it's concept or in the larger mega packs, or if it's a ship over $1,000. So they're the things that will get you LTI. Usually when they're standalone, you might get, if it's IAE or Invictus, you might get 120-month insurance on the ship, which is basically 10 years. Is insurance counting at the moment? No. Insurance is not being calculated at the moment. So even if you've got 6 months, you've got insurance until the game. The date is from when the game launches, when we're no longer using Alpha UEC, that's when insurance will start.
I think the closest he would get to it, Algared, is buy an LTI token and upgrade to it. And that's the best you're ever going to get. So you could have, for example, picked up a Lynx or a Fury and upgraded all the way up during the Invictus sale. Or is Alien Week ends today, does it not? Is it still going? Let me double check.
Yep. The Lynx might still be available because it was a new ship, so it might still be available.
I think the cutoff for that was the other day, but let me double check. Let's see.
Fury was definitely, I think, running out.
Yeah, so we're back to red armors in the store.
Yeah.
Cutlasses, red armors, so there's nothing there. All the LTI stuff is gone, so Alien Week is over, so you're done.
Like Alien Week ended.
Yeah, so you'll be waiting. You'll be waiting probably till the next AIE in 6 months' time in November.
Yeah.
Alien Week ends the 26th. Then how come?
How come that you need to go? Yeah, you'd need to go into the.
Let's have a look. But there's no new ship, so there's no LTI tokens. That's our point. Yeah. So you've got the ones there.
There are still the LTI war bonds, but if you can pick up a, you'd need to have an LTI token. So if you've got an LTI token in Melt, you could unmelt that. You could then use CCUs to move up.
But there's no ship with LTI at the moment, Algared, that he can buy. That's my point. Yeah.
Like I said, if he's got one in buyback.
Oh yeah.
But
right. Sorry,
I don't know of any at the moment.
I'm going to
unless you've
assume that this gentleman doesn't because of the question he's asking.
Yep. So yeah.
Yep. All right.
Who was that, Black Cat? If you really need an LTI token, hit me
Old
up
man
and
Hurston will help you out.
And I can get you one.
Yeah.
For what it cost me to unmelt.
It'll only cost you 3 uwu girls. All right. So yeah.
No, it'll cost whatever it cost me to unmelt.
I'm joking. Yeah. Yeah. Take my wife. No, just kidding.
All right. Ultimate Virtue. Question: thoughts regarding the whole CDE competing with small ships on outpost trading? I think it's still busy on a planet load at station. They should be excluded from outpost.
We go into great detail in that in the episode. I think it's a part of the design philosophy of the whole series. They are actually integrated together. They are designed to feed into each other.
And even the way they describe the whole C and ISC is that it can't pick up stuff from planet. You go to the terminal, you order it at the station, and then you go to the loading area and it loads over time.
And that gives a reason for the A and the B to still exist. You do not want to completely crush ships, and so they've put these design decisions in to keep ships relevant. That's why things like the Vulture will still be able to work alongside a Reclaimer, because they are tailored at different things, and they're like, put it this way, you're going to send a Vulture down to a planet before you do a Reclaimer. That's simple. So again, it gives it a reason to exist. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. You can clearly see its design choice, and we go through that in the episode with me in space, and I'll put that on this weekend.
Apparently, I'm just seeing in YouTube chat, but apparently, if you're concierge, the Fury Twin Pack is available with LTI.
Let me go have a look. Fury Twin Pack LTI. Well, that means that would give you 2 LTI tokens, essentially.
It would give you 2 LTI tokens.
Let me just check. But he wouldn't be concierge, though. Let me have a look. Fury.
Even it may even be worth double checking that.
I can't see
nothing showing up for Fury.
No.
I just saw that.
What was the other one?
Well, it was just a Fury. I was saying maybe subscriber.
I think I am subscribed at the moment.
But that would be the only other place I could see.
Yeah, look, I am a subscriber at the moment, Algared.
Oh,
Not usually, but I am at the moment. Where would it be? Store? Let's have a look. Is this where it is, Algared? Is this what? Sorry, Algared, you broke up.
Go to extras and should be able to pick up subscribe options.
Subscriber store? Yep. That's where I'm at. Same place I was just at.
Oh, okay. And then just see if it's a
Fury?
There. And then look for
nope. Nothing.
And nothing showing up. So
yeah.
Doesn't seem to be. If it is, we can't see it.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Yeah, packs aren't the best. I'm the same with you on that, mate. I'm not a big fan of the packs, but yeah.
Yeah. But if you're after all,
that's the way to go. All right.
Why? That's the way you go.
Yep. Yeah. Got to take what you can get.
Dom Dawson.
Take, or you got to wait. And in your case, you're probably going to have to wait, unfortunately, to AIE.
Yep.
All right,
so Dom Dawson singles thing.
Whoa. Okay, I literally missed every.
Like it.
All right, hang on. I'm going to ask a question now because you're breaking up real bad. So Don Dawson says, do you think we'll see something like the black card for Concierge Return or something like it? I think that's something they tried and it's kind of failed because honestly, with the premium tickets for CitizenCon, isn't that essentially what they were? Algared, I'll let you kind of answer.
Part of the idea of a black concierge card was if you've got the card, they would have special events which only card holders could go to. So
and it never eventuated. It just kind of fizzled and died.
They did do a couple of dinners in the US, but and I think they may have possibly done one in England, but they were they are very limited and very difficult to do. And people in Australia have got the cards. Well, big deal.
if I ever turn up to a Citizen Con, I will take mine. I've got it here somewhere. Hang on. And I'll let you know what happens. You know, I know Algared's got one as well. But yeah, I've got the. I can even keep it in a sleeve. Look, oh, that's a green sleeve. That's why it's going in. Wait, take it out and see if it focuses. But this is what he's talking about. It's got a scratch of the. I don't know if I can get that to camera, but that's a Hornet. There you go. I think you can kind of half see that. It's a Hornet from the side and the top. Yep. There we go. There's the Hornet.
Yeah, you can't really.
You can make it out a little bit. I can.
Let's see it.
But that's the. If I do this, you can see it. Hold on. Oh wait, wrong one. This one. All right, so I'm pulling a light out here to make this so it gets at exactly the right angle for you guys. Well, helps if I hold it the right way around. There we go. That is showing it a lot better. So yeah.
Yep.
But that's what that is. It's just a metal card, nothing too fancy. And they sold these twice, I think it was, Algared, was it? Once for this one, and then they redid these because there was a huge push for it. And yeah, so this one I've never even taken out of the plastic. But this is the one that you get for concierge now. So it'll say that mine. What does it say? It talks about it's like a High Admiral or something. Founders, concierge founders, and then it says, Grand Admiral. And Algared says whatever his says on it. I brought everything probably in your case. But yeah, but apparently, as Algared said, you're meant to get special things at events. I'll let you know when I go. But yeah, being as far away as I am, I don't know if I'll ever get there.
I do. It was something they did to, as an idea to engage the community. They tried it. I think their review is, it didn't work as well as they thought it would, or it was just too difficult to implement for everyone. And so it's, just like everything, you try something, it doesn't work, you revise it and move on. And I think I think they've probably revised and moved on.
Yeah.
Will they probably still try and do things for them occasionally? Maybe. I don't know.
I'll put it this way. If we end up going to Citizen Con, I will take my card and I'll find out. And if they just turn around and give us a poster or something like that, I don't know. It might be nothing. If I find out after all these years it's nothing, don't worry, we'll tell you about it. Yeah.
But hey, it's still special because it's limited. So for collectors, it's still valid, So Sir Guy Stark says, Star Trek or Star Wars?
Why not both?
Yeah, why not both? But if I had to pick, I'd go Star Wars.
Yeah,
I'm in your head.
So this is where I struggle. Star Wars, the old Star Wars, I love. The new Star Wars, I cannot stand. And it looks like the reckoning has finally come. I don't know if any of you guys have been watching what's been happening to Disney lately, but they are getting a real serving. And I hope that it leads to going back to the golden era. I want Star Wars to come back again. There's even rumors flying around that George Lucas is thinking about buying it back from them. So we'll wait and see.
But then equally, I like old Star Trek. But the new Star Trek, I hate.
Exactly the same. The everything after everything after Enterprise. That said, season 3 of Picard, first 2 seasons were absolutely garbage. If you actually get a chance to watch season 3 though, and you're an old Star Trek Algared, you need to go watch it. I'm not even joking. Episode 3 is got so many nostalgia berries, fan service. I don't care what you call it. It is so well done. It is such a tip of the hat and an old march to Next Generation. It cannot be missed. They bring back everything. Everything you could want, they touch on.
But I think that's generally what people wanted. They wanted to see
the old crew back together again.
Crew 20 years down the track. What are they up to? How they cope? What did they do? Not the deconstruction of Picard. I don't want to see. You don't want to see your heroes.
We've now triggered a bunch of people in chat because there are people complaining about the same stuff we've been complaining about. But
you don't want to see your heroes bastardized. Well,
Yeah.
like they did with Luke Skywalker and Leia and Han, and
Well, they've done with every movie, even the
They've done with
cartoons.
everything.
They're doing live
Yep.
actions of everything, and it's not the some people can look at it and go, it's all this woke and messaging stuff. It's not that. It's just that the stories are not as good.
Yep.
You can have a woke movie and it can be absolutely amazing, right? But it's the writing. They are hiding behind that messaging stuff and basically saying that is the reason, and that's total bullshit. Because I'll give you a real prime example. Recently they had, and I can't remember the first game that came out, but it was I think it was Forspoken. Forspoken came out, and people was like, "Oh, there's an African American person in it, so that no one's liking it." The very next game that came out was Miles Morales, and it sold shitloads of copies. And Miles Morales is African American as well, so that's total bullshit. It's been proven time and time again. It is just a shield for them to hide behind. And I'm a little bit over it. And yeah, there's another one. Someone just mentioned Indy 5 is apparently god awful. Have you seen any reviews for that yet?
No, I'm not sure I want to.
I
but it's the bastardization of our heroes.
Yep. And well, there's a guy called Jeremy Johns on YouTube. Anyone that wants a good movie review, Jeremy Johns, highly recommend him. He had that come out yesterday, and he basically said he's got this thing where he goes T-minus 0 days, it'll be forgotten by tomorrow. That's his like worst review. Is like, it's just so bad there's no point going to watch it. And he literally also said Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. He watched it in cinemas, but he's actually got the complete DVD box set. But he goes, I've got the 3 movies in a coaster. Like he's never watched it. So he's actually, so he's going to say he's going to go back and watch Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull just to see which is worse, the new one or that one. And he just said the movie's so bad that it's just, he basically told me it's not worth seeing. But that's been the thing, like over COVID, I think COVID made everything worse. Like it accelerated this movement because people were forced to watch these things because they had nothing else to do. And it's just like, I reckon it would have taken 20 years to get rid of all this, bad messaging and bad writing out of it, right? And I'm not saying the messaging can't be there, but I'm really talking about the bad writing. It's terrible, it's just subpar. And I think the problem is when you try to pull people in, people should be hired on how good they are, not ticking a box. It's just that simple.
Unfortunately, that's what we do.
Yep.
So I'm going to jump a couple of questions because
sorry if we got too political there, but
yep,
it's a part of
Noby
it.
Trip had a question. Can you still get those cards? I have the silver one, but not the black one. I don't believe you can.
The black one is the rarest of the rare. The last time I saw it for sale was 2 or 3 years ago, and it was $180 on eBay. It originally cost me $10. That shows you how rare they are.
Yep.
But yeah, but man, they'll be a good little weapon. Oh, and the other cool side effect is they are also RFID blocking. You can put them in your wallet and they block people from reading your cards.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I tested that. It does work.
Yeah.
All
right. So R-Trek says, episode suggestion, which ships need interior reworks? Any of the old ones?
Yep.
Which ones are planned to do? Do you think are needed? What would you change in your favorite ship's interiors?
Yeah, okay. I could see that. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that is certainly a chunky question.
Yes, sometimes we get suggestions and they just don't rub us the right way, but that one could be a possibility.
It's an evergreen topic.
It is an evergreen topic, and it'd be good for the ones that I needed to record when I was going away on break. But yeah, sometimes we've got to do stuff that's really topical. Like I recorded that one for Space Tomato with Space Tomato. We were going to do that as one for Whiles Away. But what will probably happen now is me and Algared will probably do one on the weekend, and that'll be the one that is for I'm Away, because this one that me and Space Tomato have just done is really topical. So it'd be silly to waste it. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it was sad that I was unable to join you guys because it's been a while since I've been on.
Yeah, well, I've
actually had a chance to chat with Space, but you did try and reach out, but I was.
You were pooped.
Oh man.
Algared, I just thought of another one that's one of your favorite properties that has been bastardized. The Lord of the Rings. Probably one of the most blasphemous of all of them.
That is absolute blasphemous. That Rings of Power is a piece of. Don't get me started.
I watched the first episode and I was like falling asleep.
Don't get me started. What
You've not seen what I've seen. I've seen a lot. You've not seen what I've seen.
Yeah,
it's like and the thing about the boat, like they try to say these things that are like really profound, like these, and it's just they're nothing burgers. It's like they're written by someone just talking in the mirror to themselves and think they sound awesome. Like, go write a speech that you would say if you were president, and they're just like, you'd never be president, so this speech is terrible. Yeah.
The classic, this elf is no good for our city.
Yeah.
They're going to take our jobs, and the politician gets up and says, "I won't take our jobs. I'll make sure of it."
My favorite one is there's a line which he goes something about a tempest, and you've summoned a tempest in me. And people always play this meme and it just lets out the like most loudest fart. I'll show you it later. It's really funny.
It is sad. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Amazon needs to get shot for that. If there's any reason why I would have dropped Amazon Prime, and Amazon Prime I've got because of the postage they do on when you buy stuff. And then you do that and you end up getting. I remember I originally got Amazon Prime for the postage because of the stuff I was getting. And you said, "I'll get Amazon Prime," and I said, "Yeah." And we were talking one day, and he said, "Oh, have you watched this?" And I said, "No, I don't have Amazon." He said, "But you got Prime. It means you got it." And I thought, I can remember that being the case, but yeah, so I've got Amazon Prime and can watch the movies, but I've avoided watching that piece of absolute abominational crap that they've produced. Yeah. Anyway, Shinobi Trip. When Squadron 42 is released, do you think CIG will finally release Mark II chassis of a Hornet for all types and not keep it locked behind the F-78? Possible.
Yeah, I think a lot of things are probably still locked up because they're in flux, or they've become uncertain and they've got to come back around to them again. So,
yeah, and I think if they've got it done if they've got the new version in Squadron 42, yes, we will see that. And I think it's the same with the Vandal ships. We'll see them. The new versions of those will be out, but there's obviously something that's stopping it. It could be more to do with server meshing or pairs. There's some, or they're just keeping it behind the wraps for Squadron 42, whatever it is. But yeah. Mr. Thor, do you think we'll see another Connie rework soon, as they are making RSI interior textures now? Not inconceivable. I would have said no. They would get to it when they were doing the gold pass, but if they're doing a whole pile of RSI ships and reworking the artwork and getting the artwork dialed in and everything else, I could see them at that point saying, "Okay, we're going to do a gold pass on the RSI ships."
Yeah, it'll be when
depends.
You'll notice when they're doing gold passes, and it'll probably be when they move on to Star Citizen itself, and they'll all probably come in rapid succession. You'll start to see bang, 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 all these improvements pop up.
It would be when they've got all the components of those ships dialed in and know exactly what they're doing. When they've got the weapons, when they've got and we'll see things like the door panels and the lights and everything else come in. But yeah, we'll get around to it.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
But a good thought.
All right, let's do another car together one. Let's have a look. What are we up to? We are up to Astra sending me his photos of his cards. He's got them. Good on him. Astra, let us know in that message if you can. Did you get anything when you went to a meeting with those cards? Did they give you anything? Did they work? And because I've never ever had talked to anyone that's got one of those cards and they've told me if they've got anything. So I've just all these years wanted to know what they kind of give you. All right. Wes, how you doing, Wes?
Good.
What are you up to? Is it for you or for a friend?
It's for my friend. He's I've been looking at this game for a long time. Got it for myself. And enjoying it, just kind of playing solo. He's been looking at it for as long as I have. Just been really interested, but has never quite had the materials to pull the trigger. Recently he's kind of fallen onto some pretty brutal times, so he's the kind of guy that's always played MMOs and never gotten a lucky drop or anything, so I figured I would give this a swing and see what happened.
Yeah, Algared, what do you think?
Well, for me, this is the type of person we want to give. a gift, a ship away too.
Mm-hmm.
A mate who would enjoy the game, who's never had those lucky drops. Here's a lucky drop. So
yeah, that's awesome. I really appreciate what you guys are doing.
Well, these ships do come from CIG.
We've just been lucky enough
the idea that we did.
We're just lucky enough to. We're just lucky enough to be the people that actually give them away. So yeah, thanks CIG, not us. But yeah.
Yep.
Well, either way, the thought and the effort coming from you guys, it's it's good.
All right, Wes, well, you get your details off Algared and he'll get you sorted out. Is there anything else you want to say before we drop you off?
Like and subscribe. Inforunners.
Subscribe, hit the bell. Yeah, make sure it's your friend. Make sure it's your friend's name and email address.
Yep.
So
and just
account name and email address for the account.
Yeah, just message you on Discord.
Yes, please.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'll take care of that. Because they're CIG and they've got 0 value, once it's gifted, you can't melt it, and you can't.
So that's why we're being a bit careful with it, because it's once you get it, they're worth 0. So if you get it if someone's trying to cheat the system, if you already have an account, it's like, oh cool, I'll get a free ship and I can melt it and turn it something. You can't do anything with it because so it's pointless to give it to someone that's already got stuff.
$0 value.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
It means we've got to make sure get to the person that's going to and then after that it's stuck with that person. So
all right, Wes, have fun with your friend, and nice to see you, and good luck.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
No worries, Wes. I will say that thank you to the guys who are saying, hey, Al, you need vitamin C and all the other stuff. I am taking D, E, B, C, and all the other stuff at the moment.
Burgundy, vodka.
That's right.
Just everything.
It is just the tail end of evil COVID.
Yeah.
And that's just life. So.
All right. Next question, Mr. Algared.
Wesley Carter says, I have all the starter packs. Have all the starter packs been given? I have a friend that would be a great candidate. Well, if you've got a friend who's a great candidate, you need to either A, have been into our chat and said, oh, please, may I? We have 1 pack left, I believe.
I think you are. I think you are going to be, as the Australians will say, shit out of luck, because we've got
at least 3 people, I think, in the room, or 2 people in the room.
Yeah. The other person, I don't know. There's someone here who wants to possibly ask a question or say something, so I'll just ask him here real quick. Hey, Crytex, are you there, man? Crytex. He hasn't been given the role. Hang on. That's why he can't speak. Hold on. I'll fix this. All right, Crytex, you there, mate? Crytek. Crytex. Hey, what's up, man?
Doing pretty good.
What can we do for you? Ashra was saying you wanted to ask something?
No, I'm the one that's Midgard's that's on YouTube that actually made the suggestion of having like the caller of the night or whatnot.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to give you guys props to let you guys know that you guys are doing a fantastic job. That's all. You guys are old just like me. I'm 47 years old. I've been a backer since 2013, and I appreciate everything that you guys are doing for the community. I mean, Thursday nights, you guys make it fantastic.
Okay, thank you, man.
Well, thanks, Midgard.
Aim to please, man.
You did say you are Midgard, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Midgard's on the actual YouTube.
Yeah, I can see you there.
Right.
Cool.
Yep.
All right, well, is that all you want to say, or?
No, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. I think you guys, go ahead. Sure.
Do you have a question?
Do you have a question?
No. Well, yes, actually. When are you guys going to blow up your organization? You guys only got like 3 members. I think now's the time for you guys to grow. And now, and just wondering if you guys are accepting applications or whatnot.
The organization was created by Osiris.
And I didn't like the acronym he used, so I recreated it. The only person in the org for the Inforunners right now is me. That's it.
And the one that Osiris made has him and me, and possibly Dyson.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's something we've never really done. the org I'm in is Southern Cross Alliance. It's an Australian org.
I'm in the same one. So yeah.
You know, and if I'm doing org stuff, I generally do stuff with them. The next org thing we're doing is Scarlet Apex, which is in a couple of months' time. It is a live fire distortion weapon only endurance race around the asteroid fields of.
So yeah, in regards to Inforunners, I think it would actually become a secondary org for most people. It'd be more of a network connection. I don't know. We'll have to have a talk about it. As I said, though, we did say this earlier today on this show, it's down the road when there's more people, because we've just seen so many orgs fall apart. That's one of the reasons why Southern Cross Alliance has stood this test of time. It's kind of been very low activity level. So,
it just said, you know, so it's, and we've always, and Southern Cross Alliance has always said, look, if you like what we're doing, hang out with us. If you don't like what we're doing, we say, hey, you know, find another org that, you know, we're happy for people to go to an org they like.
That makes sense. I understand. And you want to wait until the game is more polished and finished before, you know, going out there. But for name brand recognition, I mean, that's a really good one to keep on to.
Mr. Stunner, thank you for the 5 gifted subs on Twitch to Lord Hollington, Grant Sandwich, Quantum Case 33, 3 times Flash, and iCoaston. Enjoy your emojis.
So enjoy your time of being
All right then.
Well, I just want to let you guys know that, hey, there's old people like ourselves here. You know, I have grown-up kids. You know, and you know, and we enjoy these type of games, and I think if you open it up more to the community to have like a caller, you know, call in and geek out and talk about the possibility of Star Citizen, even though you guys still do that on a regular basis, but with randoms, I think you know, it could be something special. And thanks a lot for everything you guys are doing. Seriously.
We did want to do that originally, and we tried it, and it just kind of didn't get momentum, so we kind of dropped it. But we'll try again. Why not? So yeah.
I suppose it's one of those things we don't have to do every week as well. It's just
appreciate you too, Stunner. Thank you very much for the subs. Appreciate it.
Yep.
All right,
guys. Well, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for everything you guys do, and you guys take it easy. All right. And for everybody else that's not liking or subscribing to this channel, please do.
Thank you, Chris. All right, mate. Thank you. You're making me blush.
Care, mate.
All right. See you, bud. I do not like praise.
Okay. Wesley Carter says, I have all the starter packs. Sorry, already answered that. Voodoo says, do you want any giftable upgrades to blacks before the price before the price jump?
What
Sorry,
chip was
covered. Voodoo Child says, do you want any giftable upgrades to blacks before the price jump? And I'm not sure whether you're saying you've got some or you're going to gift some or anything. He says he's listening on delay. So if we're talking giveaways, we will always happy to have giftable upgrades before the price jump on prices, because that's always helpful. If it's saying, do we want to buy them? No, probably not. If you're asking for other people, that's up to them to decide whether they want them. So
I had to get a lozenge. It's making me cough like crazy.
Yep.
Next question, or do you need a bit of response from me on that one, Brett?
If you want, you can give a response. I kind of tried to cover all bases, but
yeah, if you want to reach out to one of those people that got the cutter, if that's what you're talking about, Voodoo, just reach out to them. Or maybe you can offer and they'll reach out to you. So if you're offering an upgrade to a cutter, if you're interested in a cutter, reach out to Voodoo on Discord, and if he wants to give you any, will, I guess. And if not, we were wrong.
Raquel says, so I only have the Mustang as my pledge ship. I've had it for ages. Is it a good idea to use it as an upgrade to a bigger ship? It depends. If it has LTI, I'd say yes. If it doesn't have LTI, then probably not. The more your ships grow in size, the more you want that longer insurance, in my opinion. Now, CIG and Chris have always said insurance will not be an issue. It's not going to be something that costs an arm and a leg. But if you can get LTI on a ship, which means you don't have to worry about bad expense, it's one less thing you've got to worry about. And on big ships, I think you want it. On smaller ships, it doesn't really matter.
Agreed.
But
I'd just say, I'd say 250 and above.
Yeah,
You
well,
know,
usually
there are
in
exceptions.
that level where we say, you know, melt your ships.
Yeah, it's the same place. So I'd say there are exceptions to the rule at the moment, like things like the Raelian and stuff like that, because they go below that. Again, your multi-crew ships that drop below the two. Again, I guess that's the other way we could look at it now. We don't have to run a price basis. We say your multi-crew ships. That's another way we could start to look at it when I start to think that through, because that, you know, I could see something like a Vanguard needing it. It is technically a fighter, but it's got a bit of the multi-crew in it. But then by the same token, I don't think it's required on, say, something like a Scorpius.
Mustang. Or
yeah.
Or an Aurora, or even a Cutter. But hey, if you can get it on them.
Hey, Pete, how you doing? Pete, if you're around, seriously, Pete, drop into the chat. I want you on here right now. Pissball Pete, get the fuck into one of the Discords on the Inforunners Discord and come in and have a chat with us.
Go to the waiting room and we'll drag you up.
Yeah. Get in here and talk to us. Don't be an asshole. I know it's your favorite thing to do, but get in here. Because I've wanted to get Pete on here to chat on a live stream for ages. He's a funny mofo, and I want to get in here and we'll have a chat. We'll have to get you in for an actual, like an actual full live stream one time. Yeah. Jump on.
So get off Twitch, get to our Discord, go to the waiting room, and then you're going to be on voice.
We'll drag you in. All right. You want to do another question?
Oh, I'll try and race a few questions here. So, question from Master Cross. Question: will there ever be a prospector and refinery in one?
Ooh, a sector and refinery in one. No, I don't think they will.
Yeah, I tend to think they'll keep that separate.
The closest you get is the Orion, yeah, but that's not a full refinery.
Yeah. And the prospector does supposed to have some filtering, so it can filter out the drop. That's about it. The idea is you take the refinery's bags and you take it to an expanse, and then it refines it to pure material. Matt Iber says,
"Oh wait,
have you read?"
let's do the last cutter, Algared. What do you reckon?
All right.
All right, let's just make sure he's got his roll set. He does. All right, here we go. So this is Leonidas. Leonidas, are you there, mate?
Hi.
How you doing, buddy? Is it for you or your friend that you're looking to get a cutter?
It's a friend of mine. He's always busy with his university degree, and he cannot never join the free flies and anything. He just got see that can run the game, barely run it, but when I leave him my account so he can try something like a Mustang Alpha, my Corsair, an Avenger Titan, for example, that he loves it, and that's how he enjoys the game as much as he can, since he cannot play as much as he would like to.
Did you say he doesn't have a PC that can play it?
No, I said that he got a PC that can play it recently.
Oh, right, now I'm
yeah, that's why.
But he's a university student.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are both students, so yeah, that's why.
What are you studying, if you don't mind me asking?
He's doing software engineering. That's why he's so keen into the project, that it's so open about developing and etc.
Yep, understandable. And yourself?
I'm doing industrial mechatronics.
Mechatronics, holy crap. Okay.
Stop swearing.
Yeah, so when can we expect to see Megatron from you? When can I get my Megatron?
I mean, when Squadron 42 goes live, so never.
Oh, harsh.
Ooh, harsh.
I'll take that bet. I will take that bet. I will take that bet that you're wrong.
Hopefully 2025 SQ.
So next year, you better have Megatron ready to go, okay? Right? I want my Megatron.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I'll change it to when Pyro goes live.
I'm actually, that's something we've been talking about. I might even think we might see Pyro at the end of this year. Don't know if that's true, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a Squadron 42 Pyro thing this year, but we'll see.
I think it's too early, but I mean, I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, well, you know, you never know. I can remember when people saying large maps would never happen. And Sergio saw it's coming, and I said, no, you won't get it in that time. And Now large maps. Now you see other games talking about, oh yes, we've got this large map system. It's brand new. It's fantastic. It's awesome. And you're going, yeah, we know where you got it from. So yeah.
All right. So do you want to give him the last cutter there, Algared?
I've got a soft spot for university students. So being an ex-student.
Is that where all the Uwu girls come from?
That probably is where all the Uwu girls came from.
He just opens himself up every single time. I can't help it. Sorry, it's the former comedian that I used to be. He just makes it too easy to heckle. Right. All right. Yeah. So you give Algared your details, and we'll get that last one off to you.
You know the drill.
Okay then. Thanks, guys. Very appreciated.
So what ship do you have though, Leonidas? I'm just curious. What ship do you have yourself?
Well, I have my main ship is the Corsair, but since I've been following the project since the Cotswold got into the hangar modules, then I am working on some CCU chains, and I have the big dilemma of Odyssey, Corsair, or Polaris, but I'll figure it out someday.
Well, I'd drop the Corsair out of that list straight away.
If you want some help you want to fix my fleet help, just reach out to me and Algared.
I mean, I love the series. I gotta say, you do a great job with the series, and I love your points of view. But I'm good. The Crusade is a ship that I want to keep, and I have some ships that I will turn into the.
Oh, I wasn't talking about helping you get rid of them, man. Like, this is the real misconception. Like that me and Algared force people to do things. There is no way we can force people to do anything.
Well,
I know, but you show me your point of view. I know.
Yeah.
I did say I'd be getting rid of a Corsair out of those three, but so.
Yeah, I have my CCU tents planned, and I already have 3 ships, and they are going up to the BMM and Polaris or whatever. So yeah, I think I have it somewhat planned. So yeah, thank you anyways for the help. But yeah.
All right. Well, I hope you and your friend have a good time together, and look forward
thanks a lot, and I'll DM you all Algared when I have
make sure get your friend to make the account and then get his details to me.
I'll have my address off to you where you can send Megatron. So yeah, cool.
Okay.
All right, man. See you later. Bye bye.
See you.
Right, so that was the last of our 8 ships.
They're gone.
6 questions that I can see in our chat.
Yep.
So
and then we're done, which is going to be awesome because it'll be right on about our usual time. So let's get back to those, Algared, and then we can get moving.
So Matt Ebar says, have you read or heard any news about ship naming being started up again? No, I haven't.
No, we have not.
You do a good job. You do a good job, guys, for the SC community. Keep it up. Well, thank you very much. So in answer to your question, no, we haven't. Shinobi Trip. Can you still get those cards? I only have a silver one and not the black one. I do believe I answered that earlier.
Yeah, you did.
KC Kaboom. We answered his question about the scythe. Shinobi Trip. If Kruger Intergalactic made a starter ship, what role would you think it would fill?
What was that? Again?
If Kruger Intergalactic made a starter ship, what role do you think it would fill?
Starter ship.
Technically, you could argue that the P-52-72. Well, no, because they're snubs.
Yeah, they're snubs.
I would have argued it should have been the Ares. It should have been.
But that's not a starter. That's where that's because that was where my brain went too, right? But he specifically said starter.
He did say specifically starter.
Be like the Mustang or the Delta, like something combat related.
I'm looking at it and I'm thinking it needs to have quantum and jump to make it a starter ship to be able to go to be independent. And I suppose I would go something in between then. The Ares, which is a heavy fighter with a long range weapon, bespoke weapon, and the P-52. So it would be something like that. It would be a fighter ship. It would be built around a weapon system. The hard thing is also that Kruger make a whole pile of components. They've often said, we make everything bar the ship. Let's make the ship. We make everything bar the gun. Let's make the gun. So Kruger are that type of weapons manufacturer. They make everything, all the components that everyone else uses, and so they're trying to break into weapons market and the ship market. So based on that, they could make anything. but the way they built their ships, the way they built the P-52 around their ship, the way they sold their main weapon and had it put onto the Avenger, all of those types of things really just so they could do anything. But based, I'd say they're more a weapons manufacturer than a ship manufacturer, so it'd be a fighter with a ship with a weapon built around it.
Yep.
Bit long-winded.
That makes sense though. All right, next question.
JC Kaboom says, how many Endeavour bases are enough?
As many, I think, that you could use to fill out
My answer's 3.
Yeah, fill out the master set. Yeah, 3 to 4. I think 4 for
3 to 4.
Yeah, fill out the full master set if that's what you're looking at,
Yep.
one of every single type. But realistically, do you need more than one per person?
Yep.
Because there's someone else going to have one. So yeah.
I personally have 3. I have one for the Hope, one for the one with the pods,
Yeah.
and then one to be the either the Explorer version or the one with the dome, the collider. Realistically, based on the way I view it in terms of not wanting to have to keep changing the role, a 4th one would be ideal, but I've got 3. So, but like you said, do you really need more than one? And the last question from KC Kaboom is, are you going to do an FNF and fix my fleet update of our own fleets? So are you going to do it? For me, Kaboom, probably not, because my fleet, just say, I've got everything. Just save it. That's all you got to do. Do I want to change it? Not really. I've got my OCD tendencies have me wanting to have everything. If you hear me talking about a ship I don't want, in my opinion, it's really horrid. So yeah, what about you?
I do think we will eventually get around to doing them. Oh, I've got another bit of news for you too. Seer is coming back. Seer the 6th is coming back, and so we're back in the Inforunners, and he'll more than likely be spinning up his own content again. So, sorry, I was just thinking of all the people we've done FMF episodes for. So yeah.
Midgard says you need at least 2.
Yeah.
And that makes sense. You generally, if you're in an org, your org is going to want at least 2. You want at least a hospital one, and you want at least the one with the super collider as an org, because the super collider is the one that enables you to overclock components, and so there's a value there. But then if you're a drug org or a medical org, you might want the domes for growing crops and drugs or other stuff. So there's so many options to the Endeavour. You want at least 2 in an org, at least. And if you've got those, you need at least 2 crucibles. So,
all right then. All right, with that then, Algared, we can either raid Croncy or Galahero. Who do you feel like today on Twitch?
So yeah, I don't know who Galahero is.
Galahero is a younger guy, Australian. He lives in Sydney. He plays quite a lot. I know him fairly well. Croncy we know, but Croncy's got a lot more viewers. So do you want to help out the new guy, or do you want?
I would have a new guy.
All right,
always a new guy.
All right,
sorry, Croncy.
Yeah, he's not new, but he's around. He's playing right now. He was on Clip of the Day yesterday, actually. Mr.
Galahero. I know Croncy does heaps of stuff.
Yeah. That said, though, if we go to raid Croncy, we can get
racing. I know he does. But
if we raid Croncy, we can get people to ask, why is the mole so bad? And he loves the mole. So, yeah. All right.
You mean he loves the mole like Paul likes the Redeemer?
Yeah, that's it, basically. So, I think we'll raid Galahero. We can raid Croncy another time. I think we have raided Croncy before in the past. So yeah. So thank you everyone on Twitch. Make sure you reach out to Galahero. Ask him how his Toby is doing, because I sent him, so we got a review unit of Toby, and I ended up sending him my review unit for free because he's broke. So yeah, ask him how that's going and tell him I'll be along soon to hassle him. So
yep.
Yeah, so thank you to everyone on Twitch. On YouTube, I cannot find anyone to raid. The way that thing works is a bit weird. So yeah, so everyone on Twitch,
say goodbye.
Goodbye, YouTube.
Thank you for joining us, guys. It's been a pleasure.
We'll see you next week.
And everyone on YouTube, don't forget, like, subscribe, hit that bell, because it makes us feel warm and fuzzy on the inside, but it also helps feed the analytics. And yeah.
All right, you guys have a good one. Again, as I said, we look forward to that whole C episode coming this weekend, and me and Algared will probably do another one for the bank. All right, other than that, yeah, thank you for joining us. Thank you for helping us give away some ships. It's always good to give back to community. I really enjoy that, as I know Algared did as well. Anything else you want to add, Algared? I think we're done.
I think we're done.
I'm going to go get some food. Right, with that, he's been Algared.
He's been Execute.
We'll catch you in the next one.